Became a ball carrier in Week 7 and leads the Eagles with 5 rushing touchdowns, averaging well over 5 yards a crack. Now, 5 players on the Ike roster play both ways, offense and defense. But Walled Lake Western has 22 different guys, and they're led by their runner, Cody Cargo.
What Cody Cargo does is takes a lot of pressure off Peyton, the quarterback. When you can rush for 1,200 yards and predominantly a passing offense, that really gives you a nice balance. And Cody Cargo is a complete player with 16 rushing touchdowns over 1,200 yards. What an asset to have.
Now, the unbeaten Warriors are blessed with a lot of talent. In fact, on defense, they have 2 players who are probably going to play college football at the Division I level. One is headed to Vanderbilt. The other is linebacker James King, who right now is being recruited by a couple of Big Ten schools as well as some teams in the MAC. James wasn't thinking about college football until Coach Mike Zadepski stepped in and said, oh, yeah, you can do it.
He put the thought into my head that I could go to college to play football. Before then, like, I don't know what I would have done. He installed that into my mind and my conscience that you have the athletic ability to play college ball. And he stayed on my back all the time. Every time I slipped up, I was punished. And though it made me mad at the time, like, now I realize that it was for the better of me. Like, he's bent over backwards. He's came to the school sometimes at like 11 o'clock so I can get some stuff that I forgot for an assignment, or he'll come pick me up for school when my car is going down or something like that. I love my coach a lot.
What a story it has been. We'll talk about Coach Z and James King and the bond they have developed and why they have developed sort of a father-son relationship. And handling the sideline reporting duties, Shereen Sesk.
Thanks a lot, Fred. And I'm here with Coach Joe D'Angelo. And one of the matchups we'll take a look at today, number 10, Chris Misano and Utica Eisenhower against Lorenzo Parker.
It should be interesting. It's almost like a game within a game. Both teams are going to throw the ball, and it'll be a good matchup. You know, sometimes when teams throw the ball, it's going to be exciting, but it doesn't always translate into a high-scoring game. It'll be interesting to watch.
2 coaches on the sidelines with a little different background. One, the rookie coach, the other been here nearly 3 decades.
Yeah, sometimes things aren't fair. Coach Lancey's been coaching for 30 years, and this is his first year in the finals. Coach Zadepski, this is his first, actually he's been here as a defensive coordinator when they won the state finals, but this is his first year. Rookie coach, being in Silverdome doesn't seem always fair. It'll be fun, though.
Well, if the Walled Lake Western sideline seems a little crowded today, that's because Coach Z has brought along 25 assistant coaches. In fact, he joked that he doesn't have a credential for today's game. He hopes he doesn't get kicked off the field. Fred?
All right, Shereen, this is a game of bordering counties. Macomb County against Oakland County. An all-Metro Detroit area final in the Big School Championship. Back with a kickoff in a moment.
NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net. The pregame show for the serious fan.
It's quick fix time. Fire the coach.
Plus, in-depth analysis and hard-hitting interviews with the game's biggest stars.
I never put my shortcomings on other people.
Go inside the game with our all-pro team, plus the Fox NFL Sunday Gang. A full hour of pregame power. NFL This Morning, Sunday on Fox Sports Net, followed by Fox NFL Sunday on your local Fox affiliate.
So, what's in the blue box? What's in the blue box? The financial answers you need in life.
Hey, Jeff. Now, listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now, come on, Jeff. You tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now, that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
Sunday sizzles on Fox Sports Net. Football fanatics get more pregame power 1 hour earlier with NFL This Morning. Live from the Joe.
Oh, what a goal!
Sergey and the Wings face off with Jeremy Roenick and the Coyotes. Going Deep asks the question, is it image or exploitation? And if you missed anything, our team's got it covered.
You bet.
Fox Sports Net.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association Football Finals on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, marking 50 years of making your future more predictable. And by OmniPoint. Get the phone of the future at OmniPoint right now. Wireless takes the next step. Well, Walled Lake Western hoping that blondes have more fun. The team unifying, all dyeing their hair blonde. And their head coach, Mike Sadepski, said, if you get me to the finals, I'll go blonde too. And he made the splash. Mike Brzezowski to kick it off. And the Division I game is underway. Jim O'Brien, the up man, took the kick across the 25-yard line for the Warriors of Walled Lake Western. Well, the Western Lakes Conference will put it into play. Their quarterback, Chris Payton, good leader, had a couple of running touchdowns last week in the semifinal game to get here. But he can also throw the football. He's completed 52% of his passes this year. First line of scrimmage, 27-yard line for the Warriors. Payton keeps it wrapped up quickly and thrown for a loss. John DeGiorgio, who we talked about in the open, this guy has an uncanny knack of finding lanes and getting into the backfield. Offensively up front for Walled Lake Western, you see these guys led by Larry Bigger, the senior. Tony Henry is the biggest player on the roster. He's their tight end. And Cody Cargill, the aforementioned 1,000-yard rusher, will get the lion's share of the running duty. Second down and 15 after that loss of 5. Payton, quick toss. Pass is caught by O'Brien, but he's snowed under. Shy the 30-yard line, a gain of 6. DeGiorgio again on the stop in that Seattle Seahawk type of helmet.
Here's DeGiorgio. We're getting a look right now how this young man reads and flows. This is an outside bubble screen, and he comes from the inside linebacker position and gets in on a tackle. That's side-to-side speed, and that's what you look for, especially at the double-A level when the people like to throw the ball as much as Walled Lake Western's going to this afternoon.
So it's third down and 9 for Walled Lake Western. The former state champs, Payton on the run, being rushed. DeGiorgio got back there to force the incompletion. This guy is a big game player. We watched him on film, and in the game against Clarkston, repeatedly made defensive play after play.
And we talked about him possibly playing on the offensive side of the ball because he's their thoroughbred. You want to utilize your players. But we can get a look on the outside, right on the bottom of your screen. Here he comes, unblocked. They're trying to get a guard out, pulling on him, but he's too fast to get up the field. They can't get outside to help him to contain, and what a great job by John DeGiorgio.
Saw part of his name ripped off. You'd think he was in a fourth quarter battle. We've only played 3 plays. Mike Pisha kicking it for Walled Lake. Josephic beats a couple of tacklers and then is knocked down at the 47-yard line. Nathan Booth on the tackle for the Redshirts. 30-yard kick. 5-yard return. Brian Gnip, a 3-year starter for his head coach, Bob Lancey. Completed 54% of his passes this season. He's a senior, but he holds all the school records for yards and completion. Eisenhower goes to work at the 46. In motion, Lacombe. Gnip to throw. Up to midfield. Short pass completion. Josephic, the ball carrier. Or off the receiver, I should say. Up front for Utica Eisenhower. Burke, the center. Clenow right next door. The small guards for this team, by the way. Lacombe, We'll get into his story. What a story he has been to get here. With 2 broken thumbs a year ago and a broken ankle, and here he is playing. Then up under center, 2nd down and 6. DeGiorgio and Josephik the setbacks. Yep, and DeGiorgio, and he is stacked up quickly. Delores Saman, the tackler for the Warriors. Defensively for Walled Lake Western, you see this group up front. A senior Leighton Forson. Active linebackers, King we talked about. Loads of talent. And then Lorenzo Parker, the guy in the middle there, is committed to Vanderbilt, a Division I player. Leads their team with 4 interceptions. 3rd down and 6 at midfield for Ike. Kniff on play action. Had a man momentarily, Josephik, but off his fingertips. And Utica Eisenhower will have to punt it. Anything sticking out here for you?
Well, they both are really coming out throwing the ball. They have no fear. Walled Lake starting back in their own territory, throwing it 2-3 downs. And Eisenhower come out doing the same thing. And that's what we expected. These teams are going to try to really throw a lot, and then they're going to introduce the running game later. Most teams run to help your pass. These teams are going to pass to help their running game.
Todd Moore to punt for Utica Eisenhower. Dave Morandi. Inside is 15. Pretty good punt. Morandi fielding it at the 22. Ridden down as he picks up about 8 on the return. Walled Lake Western will go to work at the 30. John DeGiorgio certainly made his presence felt from the get-go defensively.
Right here, right off the bat, you see DeGiorgio coming in, tripping up Peyton for a loss. Next time you see him go up here off and on the bubble screen all the way from his inside linebacker, and to cap it off, he comes outside on the blitz. He forces Peyton to throw the ball well before he was ready.
It's a family affair because younger brother John plays in the backfield. Where's number 49? John wears 47. Ball at the 29, 1st and 10 on the handoff. It's Steve Bell wide, but he's strung out by that very quick Eisenhower defense. Joe DeGiorgio there, the first to meet him. What happened to the D's and DeGiorgio?
I think the name's too long. They don't have enough back. They got to be a little bit wider, have bigger shoulders that could get their whole name on. They both took them off. We're going to look here on the replay. Let's watch. We're going to watch 49, 47. They're going to make it a family affair. There's Joe taking on the block. Nice. Getting rid of the blocker. And here comes John. Turns him inside. And there's Joe. If you want to help anyone on the team with their stats, might as well be your brother.
You're looking at the quarterback next year for this team. John will be the running back mainly. So it indeed will be a family offensive backfield for Ike next year. Now they're changing the play. Peyton handing off. I mean, nothing. Cody Cargill was swallowed up by Norman Petrovisky. Petrovisky last week against Clarkson came up with a huge fumble recovery in their win.
And there's Peyton. It's just a little handoff to the outside, but Petrovisky gets way too much penetration. And right now, Ike is showing a lot of speed with their down linemen. They're really bringing people. They're containing well. Walled Lake Western is really out of sync offensively. They need a play to settle them down so they can get into their offense and start utilizing their skilled players.
So it's 3rd and 14 for Chris Peyton. Has the ability to escape trouble and run himself if he has to. With the ball at the 25. Illegal procedure. They'll knock him back 5. So it'll be a 3rd down and 19 now for Coach Sadebski.
Okay, we got a good look here. You got the quarterback, Peyton. There's no one in the backfield. This is an empty set.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And this is what you're going to see a lot from Walled Lake Western today. No one in the backfield, 5 receivers, usually 2 flankers, 2 splits, and a tight end. And you better be quick defensively, and you better be disciplined. You're going to see a lot of zone, some man-to-man, and blitz situations.
So it's 3rd and 19 at the 20. 5 wideouts for the Warriors. Let's see if Ike now tees off in the pass rush. Peyton, a design play, picked up a couple, that's it. Eaten up by Dave Ianta. A
gain of 3. And the big senior makes the defensive stop for the Eagles. So for a second time, Walled Lake Western will have to punt.
Can you feel it, Fred? It's different. I mean, nothing taken away from the other games I've done. This is my 4th game. But when you get up to the Division I or the old AA level, the speed, the hitting, the intensity is just a notch up. And this is a blast. This is, I mean, I get paid to do this. I don't have to ask my wife for anything. I get to watch great football like this. This is a thrill.
And you get to come home and you're not in pain. Mike Pesha to kick it away. Good high spiraling kick. Driving Josephik back inside his 35. A 42-yard boot. We expected a defensive struggle, but with the ability for both teams to score in a hurry because of speed, and so far it's as advertised.
Fall is the season in Michigan for girls basketball, with over 700 teams vying for the opportunity to play in the MHSAA Finals December 2nd through the 4th at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. There's nothing like MHSAA tournament action. Catch it. Tickets are now on sale at the CMU Athletic Ticket Office. Call 188-FIRE-UP-2 for more information. Final sponsors are Farm Bureau Insurance and the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. And watch the finals live.
Before severe weather strikes, be prepared with Project Safe Side.
Develop a family weather emergency plan by doing the following. Agree on a place to meet if you become separated from family members. Decide where your family will go if at home, school, work, or outdoors when a watch or warning is issued. Develop a family evacuation plan. For more information, go online with Project Safe Side.
Project Safe Side from the Weather Channel and the American Red Cross.
Brought to you locally by Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference.
Do you have a hearing loss? Thousands of free loan open caption videos are available to you. Just select a video from our printed or CD-ROM catalog or online at www.cfv.org. Perfect for the classroom, at home, or even in the workplace. Call today, 1-800-237-6213, voice, or 1-800-237-6819, TTY.
No points yet, but plenty coming up next weekend in Mount Pleasant. All 4 classes deciding championships here on Fox Sports Net. Coverage begins Saturday at 11 a.m. on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive television home of MHSAA football and basketball championships. This is our second of 4 football telecasts coming your way today. We also have divisions 3 and 5 as well. Ryan Gnipp, the quarterback. Second offensive series for the White Shirts. Man in motion, Lacombe to the near side. Ryan throwing. Pass is caught. Chris Bassano, their leading receiver. In fact, he's one of the leading receivers all time in Michigan high school football history. How about that?
Well, that's incredible. And right here, this is a well-executed play. Gnipp just a 3-step drop. He's going to just set up in the pocket, and Masano's just going down 5 yards, curling inside a little bit, and starts sliding out. That's called a China route, where you bring it in, and then you slide back out to the sidelines. A nice job by Masano. Well-thrown ball by Gnipp.
So it's 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain. Walled Lake showing blitz. Josephik turning the legs to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he won't get there. Brent Irwin stopped him. A loss of 1. Brian Gnipp getting the play call from his offensive coordinators. And then Brian actually has the list of plays.
I've seen basic stuff. You know, I've seen it on the wrist before. I guess they haven't figured out how to tape and bend it around their arm. But he's getting the whole sheet. He shoves it down the front of his pants. He's good to go. But they better hurry because they're going to get delayed.
He better not be good to go. Ball at the 40. Gnipp getting protection on the screen. Oh, man, it is read very well by that Western defense. Soroki made the tackle. A loss of 10. Todd was all over that one.
Excellent job by the Walled Lake defense, sniffing it out right there. That's excellent view. You saw the lineman, Soroki. He didn't even rush Gnip anymore. As soon as he saw the back go across his face, he followed the back. And that's what you want to teach your defensive ends. When that back leaks out, not like he's on a pass route, but he just kind of steps up, slides out, follow him. It's going to be a screen. A great job by Soroki.
Todd Moore to punt it. Averaged 37 yards a boot this season. Good high spiraling kick, forcing a fair catch inside the Walled Lake Western 40. 33-yard kick. Randy had no choice. They feel Moore as a Division I punter. Hasn't been recruited that heavily yet. He is a senior, but he's got that kind of potential. Western came in undefeated. Of course, they beat their main nemesis, Redford Catholic Central, in the playoffs. Once they crossed that hurdle, they knew they had a good chance to get to the championship game. But so far, all defense. Cody Carter met first by John DeGiorgio. But seriously, in watching film, Rob, I cannot recall a linebacker that gets in the offensive backfield as much as this young man does.
You know, he's a credit to their defense, but their defense is a credit to him. What they do is they engage along the front to keep the guards and center off of DeGiorgio, let him have free reign side to side, and it's a whole defensive scheme to allow him to go side to side and make the plays. And the people up front don't do their job, he's going to have a more difficult time doing his.
So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Pate gives the ball inside to his fullback, nothing going. Cody Cargill, met by Dave Ianta. Ianta was just a third stringer as a sophomore. How about that? And 2 years later, he's the anchor of that defensive line. That's perseverance.
It's perseverance, and that's work ethic right there. Obviously, the young man deciding the offseason, the wintertime, he made a goal. I want to play football. I want to start at Utica Eisenhower. I'm tired of being the third stringer, and he did what it took to become a player, and obviously it's paid off.
3rd down and 9 for Western. Passing formation. Cody Cargill, the lone setback. Pate on the reverse handoff. Not much happening. Brian Tamina. This is what the Eisenhower defense will do to you. It gives up size as it did in Clarkston in the semis, but they're so quick to the ball. And very smart players as well. And that means something, too, when you're trying to read holes and find out where you should be.
I think they're a team that also, you know, talking to the coaches, has really matured in the course of the season, has gotten better each and every week. You know, they started out maybe not as good as they would like to have, but they've really gelled and they're peaking at the right time, and that's no better time than today.
Josephik back to receive this punt of Picha. Almost blocked. Tough hopper now, and Josephik will let it go. Ball down. Should be outside the 20. And it was actually touched by a Western player, but they will down it at the 18. We'll return to the Silverdome. You know some scoring is in the offense. Stay tuned.
Now at Little Caesars, get any 2 medium pizzas with up to 13 toppings for $12.99.
You can get ham and pepperoni. Get ham, pepperoni, and mushroom. You see where I'm going with this? Any combination up to 13 toppings. 13 toppings.
2 medium pizzas, rounder deep dish, up to 13 toppings, even extra cheese, only $12.99.
Any combination that you can think of, I can make it. I can. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. Challenge me. What do you want? I make pizzas. I make you happy.
Pizza, pizza.
I love this guy.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans. Designed better than they need to be. Like the incredibly smooth-riding 2000 GMC Jimmy, an SUV with a full-length steel frame, its backbone. Lease a 2000 Jimmy 4-wheel drive SLE for as low as $299 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
Detroit hockey fans. Score 3 ways with Murray's Wednesday night hat trick. Fox Sports Net has teamed up with Murray's Discount Auto Stores. For every Wednesday night hockey game on Fox Sports Net, you can tune in to win awesome Detroit hockey gear and a cool Murray's car care kit. Enter at participating Murray's Discount Auto Stores and also win a shot at one of 2 autographed game jerseys or the grand prize, a trip for 2 to see Detroit play in Colorado. Wednesdays are huge thanks to Murray's Wednesday night hat trick and Fox Sports Net.
Late first quarter at the Silverdome, Big School Championship game. No score yet. But Ike comes to town with a team that is very quick and also very smart. Right, Shireen Sasky?
That's right, Fred, and a lot of talent on this field, but in the classroom, just as smart. The top 11 players on Utica Eisenhower, an average of 3.77 GPA. That includes your starter, Brian Gnip, also includes Mark Lacombe, and number 31, Justin Alstenberg, who just happens to be my cousin. Fred?
Keep it in the family. Now, I wonder at Grand Valley State where the name Rubik would have been on that lineup.
I don't know, was that the dean's list? I was usually on the campus security list, never the dean's list.
An honest man. 1st and 10, 22-yard line for Eisenhower. Hoover, Josephic, the running backs. Behind Gnip, who will throw. Goes up top. Had a man down there, Masano, his main target, but he was well covered. Good job by Dave Morandi, step for step with him.
They come out last time, they ran a little China route. They were going to look at the ISO. Masano sells the out and then up. But a great job by the defensive back, Chris, not biting on. You know, that's what you can do. If you don't get too much cushion, you're not too aggressive, you can turn out of that a lot better as a defensive back. When they see that, maybe they're going to throw the out on him if he's going to give that much cushion.
He mirrored that pass pattern, didn't he, Randy? But look at the yardage so far. An aggregate total of +3 in 16 plays. And it. You can make that total yardage just about negative now. Ethan Farkas was there for the sack. You have 2 active athletic defenses on display so far.
It's tough to get an inch here today, let alone 10 yards. The defensive not only are swarming, they have great speed. Inside stunt, the center takes one, come clean up the middle, and that's what. And there's nothing you can do. And look at King leading the cheering, and that's what you want to see. You want to see excitement on a defense. Defense is like an entity in itself where it feeds off itself, and it can grow and just keep getting bigger and bigger and make play after play, and that's what you're seeing from Walled Lake.
3rd down and 19. Eisenhower has to be careful. Wary of the turnover. Gnip throws. Looking for Masano. Out of bounds. No flags. A little bit of contact there, but nothing that would warrant a penalty. Masano lost his shoe in the process.
Well, you're going to look here. There's some inadvertent contact. And also what happens here, you see the leg trip. He was playing the ball, the defensive back that time, Arandi, and the ball was actually uncatchable. But I think it landed about 3 yards out of bounds.
So Morandi will field this punt. Moore kicking it for the 3rd time. Consider this, during the regular season, Eisenhower allowed 7 points a game, Western 8 a game. Moore with a high kick. Morandi fielding at midfield. Weaves his way for 5 yards, but that's it. Off a 37-yard kick. Dominic Gamoul making the stop for the gang from Shelby Township. Utica Eisenhower doesn't even have a home football field, by the way. They play all their games at Utica High. And then during the playoffs, won 3 straight games on the road, beating Troy, Sterling Heights Stevenson, and Martin Luther King. And then beat Clarkson in a neutral site in Port Huron. So, I mean, that's being a road warrior, boy. Getting to the big show here at the Silverdome. Good field position, finally, for the Warriors at the 45 of Utica Eisenhower. Tamina, the man in motion. Hit. Throwing against his body, picked off. It's DeGiorgio. There goes Joe. 1 man to beat. He's going to score. Touchdown, Eisenhower. Joe DeGiorgio. 57 yards. apropos that our first score comes from the defense. That young man is only a sophomore. And as I mentioned a moment ago, next year's quarterback, showing he's got the ability to run.
Oh, he showed some great speed. When he got in the open, those long legs started going. He just accelerated all the way to the end zone. Peyton was the only one to have a chance. That was a pretty slim chance. Great play by DeGiorgio.
So brothers DeGiorgio have put an impressionable stamp on this first quarter. And the boot is good. So Utica Eisenhower rode their defense to the Silverdome all season long, and the Big D comes up with the first 6.
Well, look here. What it makes us, we got both guards pulling play action. They fake the counter trade. The first to Giorgio, John's in the face. Joe steps up and makes the interception. And what makes that is discipline by your linebackers, not biting on the play fake, staying home, staying strong, backside, sticking with their assignment instead of chasing the ball. That way when the quarterback comes off the play fake right here, both left guard, left tackle pull. There's the fake. The linebacker comes. The other one steps in front. I'll tell you what, that's a well-coached defense, Fred.
But you better have a strong arm to be throwing across your body like that.
Yeah, Peyton was picked off. He made a bad decision, there's no question. But what he didn't see, he's looking at the receiver. DeGiorgio is ahead of the receiver, planted. When the ball is thrown, he just comes back underneath, intercepts it. That's a great play.
Hey, I think that deserves putting the D back into Giorgio. To get a touchdown, you ought to earn a letter.
It's like Igor. Yeah, the brothers tagged up on that one. The pressure brought by John and Joe with the interception. I'm sure when they get home tonight and you talk about the game, Joe getting all the accolades for his interception, John will remind him that it was he that caused the quick throw and the ill-advised pass.
Family synergy. They had an older brother who played at Utica Eisenhower too 3 years ago, Frank. So it's 7-0. Ike in the first quarter. Let's see what Western could do with an answer. Rozwowski pounds it at the goal line. James King across the 25. So James shows his athletic skills, boy. And then look at the pure elation of the first touchdown of the Division I final.
I tell you what, Joe better hope he can get back in for this defensive series. He got squished like a gnat that time with about 8 Eisenhower jerseys on top of him. What a thrill, though, to score in the state championship game.
Sophomores don't normally get that kind of respect from upperclassmen, do they?
Not necessarily. Not usually, Fred, but when you take a 57-yard touchdown, it's instant respect.
Tamina, the ball carrier. A rugged run there. It's close to 8 yards in the carry. Tynan makes the stop.
And that's a big play for Western. They have to stop the emotional tide that is starting to overwhelm them a little bit from the Eisenhower side. After that big interception return and a couple possessions, not being able to do anything offensively, coming out on first down and running the ball for 7 yards gives a little bit of confidence to the big fellas up front, and maybe might have Coach Zebski, think about running a little more than passing.
Final seconds of the quarter. They won't get it off. And that'll finish the first 12 minutes. So I guess you would have to say that Western probably came into the ball game as a slight favorite in this one. Eisenhower had lost twice. Walled Lake Western a perfect 13-0. But the Giorgio boys do the job. John and Joe, and as a result, the Eagles flying high right now, leading 7-0 in Pontiac.
You can't predict. You can't predict when.
Your wife has been
where.
in a serious accident. Terrible accident.
How.
We did all we could.
But life goes on. It's not who you call after. It's who you call before.
An OmniPoint phone makes a really useful holiday gift because it's the only wireless phone with a brain. It can send a message from one OmniPoint phone to another, or email it from your computer. or send voicemail.
Oh, one more thing. I love you, Daddy.
The gift that keeps on giving. Activate by December 31st and get 400 local minutes a month for just $39.99 with contract.
Detroit hockey fans, score 3 ways with Murray's Wednesday night hat trick. Fox Sports Net has teamed up with Murray's Discount Auto Stores. For every Wednesday night hockey game on Fox Sports Net, you can tune in to win awesome Detroit hockey gear and a cool Murray's car care kit. Enter at participating Murray's Discount Auto Stores and also win a shot at one of 2 autographed game jerseys or the grand prize, a trip for 2 to see Detroit play in Colorado. Wednesdays are huge thanks to Murray's Wednesday night hat trick and Fox Sports Net.
The Cleveland Lumberjacks invade the Palace Friday, December 17th, 7:30 p.m. to take on the Detroit Vipers on Used Car Night with special guest Patrick Warburton Putty from the hit show Seinfeld. You could win one of 6 cars courtesy of Taylor Chevrolet. It's also a Vipers family night. Get 4 tickets, 2 t-shirts, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a tub of popcorn for only $45. Tickets on sale now at the Palace box office or call 248-377-0100. Vipers Hockey, get fit.
Moments away from the start of the second quarter. Eisenhower on top by a touchdown. Our next Red Wing telecast is a Western Conference battle between the Wings and the Phoenix Coyotes. Live coverage with Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond, and John Keating tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 on Fox Sports Net. 1st and 10, Wall Lake Western. Actually, 2nd and 3, excuse me, at the 33. Ball given out to Cargill. Grabbed by the ankles. Ianta helped out by John DeGiorgio. Give an assist to Tynan as well.
Well, they came out on first down with a nice running play for about 7 or 8. This time, it was a good down block, and he came off the block a little bit, but the pursuit from the linebackers, it's just tremendous. They're going to have a hard time running the ball all day wide. They're going to get him. They may get him with a quick hitter up the middle every now and then, but it's going to be tough with 47 DeGiorgio at linebacker.
3rd and 3 play for Zadepski and company. Peyton the quick out. Caught by Tamina. Has the first down. And then some. Bumped out of bounds by Brett Klein. But not until Tamina was able to get Western their biggest offensive play of the afternoon. A gain of 14.
Well, this is the basic bubble screen that everyone's going to do. We can freeze it right in the beginning here. What makes this play go is not the man who's going to catch it, but is this guy, because he's got the stop block. He has to stay on and get the receiver long enough to get upfield. And as you notice, it's a good throw. There's a stop block, just enough of Joe DeGiorgio so he could turn it and get it up the field. A nice play.
Wall Lake Western, 1st down and 10 at the 47. 5 pass receivers. Pass to Cargill. Breaks 1 tackle, and then is hammered by Joe DeGiorgio at midfield. Pretty good lick for a sophomore.
A little different wrinkle on the bubble screen. Now we're going to look over here. You have the one receiver goes back, they bring someone out, and that was pretty close to being a lateral, Fred. And that's what you have to be careful in this offense, because that ball goes backwards and it's not caught. It's a fumble. That's a live ball. A lot of times you'll see Wall, not a lot of times, but sometimes they're going to throw it, and then he's going to throw it down the field.
2nd and 7 for the Warriors. 2 men in motion. And a 3rd. Cargill. Good punishing run that time into Utica Eisenhower territory. A gain of 6 for Cody. Brody and Joe DeGiorgio had to make the stop. Cody Cargill, though, the strongest football player in school history. He's 210 pounds, compactly built at 6 feet. Of course, the earlier rushing yard losses have hurt his total so far with 12 yards, but he'll pick it up. He came in averaging 5.8 per carry. 3rd and 1 for the Warriors. Tamina. Met in the backfield by guess who? John DeGiorgio. He had 33 tackles this season for losses, and he's tacked on 2 more today.
I wish I had the opportunity to be inside his helmet, know what's going through, what his reads are right now, because he absolutely came flying up so quick on a reverse. Usually in that type of play, you're going to see the linebacker get sucked down in where the play action goes, but he doesn't. Where all the action goes, he goes absolutely shoots the other way off tackle. he's got a key somewhere. His coaching staff has led him to this type of play today because they're giving some good reads where he knows automatically when to come.
So Pisha will punt the football for Western. He's been busy already. Josevic back for Utica. Too much time. So they'll have to kick it again, presumably. So the delay knocks them back 5 yards.
This is going to be a big play here. The punts so far I've been watching, they've all gotten off clean. But it's been very close to being blocked on both teams.
Dead ball foul, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So Coach Z, as they call him, trying to find some offense.
Okay, so he's got to watch 47. He's really knifing up in there. Be aware of him. I mean, that kid's all over the place.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was that.
Rob Rubik couldn't have said it any better. Talking about John DeGiorgio, and they watched him on film. They knew what they were getting. But blocking him is another man. Bad snap.
And
Pisha in trouble. Swarmed under. DeGiorgio gets there. Joe and John, along with Petrovic. And they're going to down the ball inside the 30. But a penalty against Utica Eisenhower.
I think they're getting for slapping the ball out of the center's hand. Sometimes the center, when he lifts the ball to long snap, the nose man right over the top slaps at the ball.
Personal foul, I believe. Now the options being explained to Saman, the captain.
Okay, now let's look right here. There's the ball. When it's snapped, let's watch the defender there. He slaps it right out of his hand. What a great view by the boys in the truck. Slaps it out of his hand. And I don't know if that's legal or not. I'm not 100% sure. But that's some quickness on the man. Obviously, the coaches saw during film that the long snapper really lifts the ball before he sends it back. And that's some quickness on Lacomb's part up front, being able to swat the ball.
So Norm Lacombe with that quick hand.
Face mask from the spot of the foul, 15-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I guess it's a legal play. They got it at the end of the play on the tackle, but so when you bat the ball out of the center's hand is legal.
See if we can spot exactly where the face mask penalty occurred. Hard to tell if it was Petrowski or DeGiorgio, but at any rate, it's a 4th and 11 punt for Pisha. Almost blocked again. A flag, it'll be roughing the kicker on John DeGiorgio. Came too hard that time.
Yeah, and this isn't a 5-yarder. This is definitely a 15-yarder. This is roughing the punter. This isn't running in. Look at this right here. Underneath and on top. So he gets double dipped a little bit. And that's, you have to have that penalty because when Pisha is punting like that, he's really in a vulnerable position. And that's tough. They came close a couple times. They had the bad snap and a little over-aggressiveness on John DeGiorgio's part.
You're in. Good. Get a good start block. Get a good start.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the receiving team. Automatic 1st down.
So the Warriors get a break. One of the few mistakes that John DeGiorgio has committed here. Probably his first mistake, period. He's been so active as we've seen so far. So Bob Lancey's crew goes back on defense.
If they were calling, Coach Lancey was calling for a good stock block. Watching the bubble screen, the quick pass outside with the 2 defenders. They may motion someone or just throw it to the short side here.
No setbacks for the red shirts as they go to work at the 40. Cargill in motion, gets it on the handoff. He's determined, picks up 3. Ridden down by Sean Burke.
Now, they didn't do the bubble screen, Fred. What they did with the 2 receivers this way, and they brought the motion man and handed the ball. They had number 48 in there to slot Tony Henry. And I'm trying to get a size and weight on Big Tony, but he looks to be about 250, 260 down there.
6'7", 270.
Oh, my.
Just had him weighed this morning.
I don't know if I can afford to feed him.
Look at the first down situation, 2 to line. Cargill wrapped up by Tynan. Picks up 2. But Cody knows he's not going to find a lot of running room against this swift defense.
We're looking at a 3rd down and 5 situation. Now, I think this is 4-down territory here, Coach Dzebski and the Walled Lake staff. You have 3rd and 5. And what that does is when you go in the mentality that you got 4 downs, you don't have to throw it here. You can hit them as surprise with a quick hit inside.
3rd and 5 at the 35. Coming up on 7 minutes to play in the half. Peyton gives the ball to Cargill. He was swarmed by a sea of white shirts. Norman Petrowski, the first one to meet him. It'll bring up a 4th down. Bob Lancey says he's never coached in 29 years a group of young men who love contact. And if you're going to get yourself to the finals, you better love it.
That's a great thing. Sometimes it's a tough thing during the season. You want to start beating each other up during the week. But that type of enthusiasm, intensity can really be channeled into something positive on Saturday and Friday night. And that, obviously they did this year going undefeated.
4th down and 4 for the Warriors. Their biggest play call to date. Peyton, quick drop. Intercepted again by Joe DiGiorgio. Could he do it again? One man to beat. Makes the cutback. Brought down at the 5-yard line. Larry Bigger saved the touchdown. But little brother is putting on a show with a 2nd interception and returned this one 66 yards.
Well, you're going to see what happens here. A bad read by Peyton. Right now, we're going to get a look. And here's DiGiorgio's out here, and they just try to run a little down and out, but he falls off. He's in a zone. It's not man-to-man coverage. If you're in man-to-man coverage, this is a good play. He's not. He falls back inside and takes the interception. Peyton has got to be sure when you're going to throw that out, Fred, that they're in man, because if they're not, this is what happens.
Well, the sophomore DiGiorgio had picked up 113 yards in interception returns, but there was a clip on the return, so some of that will be wiped out. But talk about making big plays.
You know, we gave a lot of ink, a lot of play to John DiGiorgio before the game, and he has lived up to it, Fred, in the first quarter. But how about Joe?
After the interception, we had a clip. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
See if he can spot it. Might be older brother John. That was questionable.
It's questionable, but if the officials are going to make that call, they need to make it the entire day and be consistent. And I'm sure they will, because they're here for one reason, because they are the best in the state. If you're going to get the AA game, you grade it out during the season as being the top set of officials.
Think John will tell Joe at the dinner table tonight, I'm sorry?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's probably getting a little jealous right now that Joe's getting all the big plays and he's doing all the dirty work causing the big plays. But if they come out of here with a win, I don't think either of them is going to care too much.
We're going to take a timeout. 6:22 and counting in the 2nd quarter. But Ike's defense been up to the task so far.
Do you like football? Then get with the program. Wow! NFL This Morning. It's the pregame show for the serious fan.
Those who boasted got toasted.
Don't miss a minute of the in-your-face coverage and hard-hitting action of the NFL.
I love what I do and I do what I love.
Then it's wall-to-wall football every weeknight with Fox Sports Net football news at 6. Get all the very latest from pro, college, and prep football. NFL This Morning and Fox Sports Net football news. Get with the program.
Part of the fun of being an AT&T Cable Services customer is that there's always something good on. For everyone. All the time. That's one thing that will never change.
Hi, I'm Kathy Koo. We have a wide selection of digital cable packages to choose from, each with more special interest channels, more premium movie channels, and more pay-per-view. Call us today to find the one that's right for you.
America. It's a really big country and land of the free. But you don't feel free when you're on the internet with a skippy phone line and getting stuck on a slow website. But when you're hooked to the net with a big, thick cable through AT&T at home, you can go anywhere, anytime.
Call 1-888-620-HOME today and get free installation, plus your first month free on AT&T at home.
A big country deserves a big internet experience. It does.
Call now to save big on AT&T at home. Now.
When you're the quarterback, Chris Payton, he's got to watch this man right here. If he drops off and he's playing him man, that's fine. You can throw it. You can throw it here. But if he doesn't, and it's zone, this is what can happen. He just settles down, he steps in front, and it's going the other way, Fred. And that's a mistake. That's his read. He's got to watch that guy. If he's not backpedaling, dropping out of there, then you got to throw it over the top.
Joe with his first 2 interceptions as a varsity player, and have come in the state championship game. Hoover off the pitch. Able to make a surge there. James King brought him down. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line.
The reason this play is successful, let's get a look right here. Look at big number 65 for Eisenhower. That's Jeff Benito with a great block, hooking. And I believe with 65, even though he's a tight end position, he's ineligible because they're covering him with a wide receiver.
2nd and 6 for the Eagles. Toss the other side to Hoover. And some red shirts meet him as he tried to get his shoulders upfield. They have lost a yard. They'll mark it no gain. So it's 3rd and 6. Hoover's played part of this season with a broken hand. But he's healthy now. Average almost 6 yards a pop. And a really balanced running game. Eisenhower has no ball carrier that carried more than 500 yards this season. 3rd and 6 for Ike. Man in motion, Masano. Ginip to throw. Oh, he's buried. Pisha got him. Rob, the brother of the punter, Mike. And the senior comes up with a defensive stopper for the Warriors.
And not the first play by Pisha this afternoon, doing a good job. We're going to get a look right here. What they're going to try to do is try to run a wheel. They're going to bring him down here and hook him inside and try to get him down the sidelines. But what happens is there's not enough time with Pisha putting the pressure inside. It never develops. You have good pass rush will make your defensive backs all pro any day, Fred. If you bring that heat, you don't have to cover very long.
So the 2nd sack forces the punt. Randy lets it bounce a couple of times, now on the run. And he's bumped out of bounds across the 40. Where the Warriors did a good job that time, at least bringing it up the field a little bit.
But Morandi, even though the return was for limited yardage, maybe 8 or 9 yards, Fred, he probably saved them 15 to 20. If that ball hits again with that type of spin, it's going to keep on going. But you tell your return men, if they're going to make that decision to grab the ball, they better be darn sure that they have enough room before they get hit so they don't turn it over.
The Eisenhower defense registered 5 shutouts this season. And so far, perfect in more than 20 minutes of action. Payton to throw. Wanting the screen to be set up. They got a flag in the backfield. It's going to be a hold. Payton's going to try to make something out of it, but that one's coming back.
Well, you called it, Fred. They're going to hit Walt. They're going to hit Wall Lake with a holding call. And that's a shame because Payton just ran about 50 yards, 25 to the right, and then 25 back to the left to pick up about 3. And he's sucking air a little bit right now, so at least he gets a little break with the timeout call. But once again, good pressure by Eisenhower from the outside. Payton was able to break contain.
On the offense. Repeat, first down.
What's the middle of your screen? And number 66, Jason Quaney.
I wasn't going to call his number, Fred, because I remember when I played, and whenever they say holding 84 offense, and you know, you wish you wish you could just cover your number, crawl into a hole a little bit and hide, because, you know, you had 78,000 people not saying very nice things about you up in the stands.
Like in the old days where they would just say, holding.
Right.
Peyton off the shotgun. Quick toss. It's complete. Western finally moving the ball, trying to make some field position in their favor as Nathan Booth, or excuse me, Parker was able to make the play. He's normally a defensive back for them, and will go at the college level playing at the corner.
This is the old Notre Dame flanker screen. Looking to the left, right, coming back to the left. Both inside receivers run down the field. The third man out comes flat, parallel to line of scrimmage towards the quarterback, gets the ball, then he heads up the field.
So 2nd and 9 at the 45. Play action. Peyton rolling. Too tall for his receiver, Brian Tamina. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
Well, if you're Coach Dzebski right now, Fred, you got to be a little frustrated, a little bit worried. Nothing you seem to do. Running the ball hasn't worked. The bubble screen, the flanker screen, just trying to throw the ball down the field, they got a pass rush. And it just shows you what a stymieing, swarming defense like Eisenhower is presenting to them today can do to your offense when you've been able to move the ball all year. Today, you're stumbling like you just got legs.
3rd and 9 at the 45. Peyton. Quick toss to Parker again. Able to use that speed, and he has the first down. Chris Massano rode him out of bounds, but Parker being called upon here to play some offense.
Now this is what you do. You go an empty set, and you bring 4 receivers. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you throw it back to the lone side, and you get a one-on-one matchup, and you're putting faith that Lorenzo Parker, with his athleticism, can make the first man miss and get you 10 yards. He got 11.
We mentioned at the top of the show where no players really go both ways, offense and defense for the Warriors, but Sadesky saying, hey, I need a game breaker in there maybe to loosen things up. So the call upon Parker, and he's delivered. Peyton off play action. Caught. Nice grab across the 40-yard line. Steve Bell hauled it in. And Western with his best drive so far. Brent Klein defending that one for Utica Eisenhower.
I like what Western is doing now. They're going away from the strong side a little bit where they were attacking the perimeter with the bubble screen and throwing out to their split end to the strong side. They come back with a weak side pass to the one receiver set, and then they'd run a little rollout and drag a couple people to the middle of the field. The first time they'd really attacked the middle of the Utica Eisenhower defense.
8-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 2 for the Warriors. Play action again, Peyton. Had the pass rush, throws it up for grabs. Caught inside the 15-yard line. Tamina almost making a fair catch. A 22-yard gainer for Walled Lake Western.
And it would have been a touchdown, Fred, if there wasn't pressure on Peyton. He gets hit as he delivers the ball, but there's no one within 15 yards of Tamina down the field. A good, nice end zone look here. Good play action, pulling the guard. Look at that. Who is it but John DiGiorgio? Look at that. Tamina does a nice job. He's 10 yards behind the secondary. He sees the ball coming short, comes back to meet the ball, and jumps up at its highest point. Great job by Tamina.
So Walled Lake Western gets a break on that dying duck, but it looks beautiful. A 22-yarder. Looks like a spiral, doesn't it? Under 2 minutes to go in the half.
An OmniPoint phone makes a really useful holiday gift because it's the only wireless phone with a brain. It can send a message from one OmniPoint phone to another, or email it from your computer, or send voicemail.
Oh, one more thing. I love you, Daddy.
The gift that keeps on giving. Activate by December 31st and get 400 local minutes a month for just $39.99 with contract.
Unrivaled connectivity to the arts and entertainment, science and medicine, industry and education. Wayne State University, a comprehensive national research university entering a new era of greatness. 200,000 alumni already know, and 32,000 students are learning. Wayne State University is the intellectual hub of Metro Detroit. Connect to us. Call toll-free 877-WSU-INFO. or visit us at wayne.edu.
Detroit hockey fans, score 3 ways with Murray's Wednesday night hat trick. Fox Sports Net has teamed up with Murray's Discount Auto Stores. For every Wednesday night hockey game on Fox Sports Net, you can tune in to win awesome Detroit hockey gear and a cool Murray's car care kit. Enter at participating Murray's Discount Auto Stores and also win a shot at one of 2 autographed game jerseys or the grand prize, a trip for 2 to see Detroit play in Colorado. Wednesdays are huge thanks to Murray's Wednesday night hat trick and Fox Sports Net.
Well, quarterback Chris Payton had the wind knocked out of him. Seems to be okay. Using this timeout as the Warriors on the march. 1:58 to play here in the second quarter. And Walled Lake Western looking to try to tie. Payton's numbers improving now, especially in this quarter. But the 2 INTs, the glaring number, as Joe DiGiorgio has picked him off twice, once for a score. This drive began at the 43. 1st and 10, Warrior football at the 13. That's Payton. Fake the toss, goes to Parker. Cuts it back up, but he's met by a host of white shirts, including Petrosky, along with Clint Cadger.
Well, we need a traffic cop in the backfield for this one. You see Payton coming on the center. He comes out like he's running pitch option, fakes the pitch, and hits Parker coming back the other way. A nice job defensively by Eisenhower staying home, doing their position. Petrovsky never bit, didn't get sucked down chasing the ball down the line of scrimmage. Fred, he stayed home to catch anything coming backside.
2nd and 10 for Western. Still at the 13. Bell's in motion. Quick toss to Parker. And the defensive pursuit was just too quick. Joe DiGiorgio got there. Parker has blazing speed. He was a part of the Walled Lake Western 4x100 relay team that went to the state finals last spring.
You're going to see right here. Look at this. Joe DiGiorgio playing corner, man-to-man. That's not so. When you come up that quickly, when the ball is snapped, you're in man-to-man coverage. What confidence do you have in an outside linebacker where you can walk him out and play him on your on the fastest, maybe most skilled receiver of the other team?
Well, there was a run on blonde hair color in Walled Lake. As the entire team went blonde, the coaching staff joined them, and then on Thanksgiving Eve, Coach Zadebski went blonde as well.
Well, they wouldn't have made much money on me. I just look like, what is it, number 2 ball or 1 ball in pool?
Do we want to? Yeah, that was, yeah. Are we coming? Are we going icy or what? Yeah, empty. Why? What do you think?
Blondes have more fun. Well, they will if they can win this football game. Coach Zadebski likes his offensive line and the size that they have and the ability that they have had to, or shown rather, this season to protect the quarterback and also against the defensive run stopper.
We have a lot of good players, and the problem with highlighting individuals, a lot of times you forget the linemen, the kids up front, which have done those kids have done a great job because they're not the biggest. They're extremely undersized for offensive linemen at this level of football, and they have opened the way for a back like a Cody Cargill or a Brian Tamina and a Chris Payton, and have given Brandon Ruthier a chance to catch the ball. But our kids up front are exceptional.
They only average 220 up front, but right now getting the job done. Payton on the rollout. Has time. End zone touchdown. A chance for Western to tie. Brandon Ruthier pulled it in, and the Warriors are on the board. "15 yards from Payton to Ruthier."
Well, you want your quarterback to be able to read things and do things that you teach him, but you also have to be able to ad-lib. Look at Ruthier. He's covered, but right now, number 10, Chris Masano, is between a rock and a hard spot. He doesn't know whether to stay with Ruthier or fall off, and the tight end dragging underneath. When he goes to the tight end, Payton does the right thing and goes right back to Ruthier.
A rare Eisenhower defensive blunder as they just lost it. Alan Mukhtar to kick the extra point. The left-footed boot is perfect. 7-7 in the Division I championship tilt.
We'll get another look here at the touchdown. Peyton really buys himself time and lets the play develop. When he comes outside, the defense does a nice job containing, but he steps up inside, waits for Ruthier to clear, and right there, that's a good job. You look at Masano right there holding his hands up in the air because he didn't know who to cover. Oh, here's a great view of it. Right now, he steps up and throws the ball. And I feel bad for Masano. He's putting his hands on. He's saying, what do I do? I got one here, I got one there. What do you want me to take? And that's just someone else missed an assignment and left your defensive back Masano on an island. But a good job by Peyton finding the open man, buying time.
So the Warriors feel renewed hope as they have tied things up. Peyton has really gone to the air here as Utica Eisenhower basically has taken away the Warrior running game. So Western will kick it off. Under a minute to play here in the first half in a 7-7 ball game. Tell you what, it's been an entertaining 7-7 time.
There's a lot of stuff going on down there in the, when you talk about the football vernacular, you got bubble screens and flanker screens and reverses and people knocking punt snaps out of hand. There's all kinds of things going on, so it's entertaining even though it's only a 7-7 game.
So Mukhtar will kick it away for the Warriors. Depending on field position, Eisenhower could possibly put it up trying to get some points, but they'll need a healthy run back. It's DeGiorgio. John with it. Breaks a tackle, gets to the outside. Look at him turn those legs up near midfield. And now I would think that Eisenhower, with 39 ticks left, will say, hey, let's try a couple of passes. Mukhtar had to make the tackle as the kicker. 32-yard pickup for John.
When you're a good return man like John DeGiorgio, watch how he goes slow, wait for my blockers, block him, seam, go. And that's exactly what he does. He times it. He waits for his wedge to get her to make a seam, and he hits it 100 miles an hour. Nice job by the wedge, nice job by John DeGiorgio.
He will be their starting tailback next year as a senior. See what the Warriors do in a passing formation. Ganiff to throw. Quick pass to Masano, but it's snuffed out. Parker made the stop for Western.
We'll get another look here, Fred, of why John DeGiorgio, not only a good defensive player, but a good offensive player, having the presence to allow his blockers to make the blocks. Don't rush it. Don't get ahead of him. It doesn't do you any good. And look how he finishes. Some good leg drive. That's a player. You know what? You got guys like that. I think I could get myself here. I need more than one. I need maybe 11 or 22 of them to get here to the state finals. Good job by Coach Lancey utilizing his personnel, too.
Brian Ganiff, just the second quarterback in Bob Lancey's term at Utica Eisenhower to be a 3-year starter. The other, Lancey's offensive coordinator. Lost a couple of yards on the play. I'm sure Coach Z will be glad to get his normal haircut back, I think.
Does it seem like to you that Walled Lakes had the ball this entire first half?
They just about have. Utica's only had the ball 5:50 so far. And we have played 23.5 minutes. So you do the math there, college graduate. Rob's still working on it. He hits the throw. Downfield, has a man. Oh, too tall. Mark Lacombe was there at about the 35-yard line and had some running room, but the ball was just overthrown.
You're going to see right here, the ball was thrown too high, but it's going to not really matter because they're going to get 15 yards anyway. It was a late hit personal foul on the quarterback, Ganiff. Wow. I should say Ganiff got hit, but the ball just got out of his hand a little bit, got too much air on it, and Lacombe couldn't come down with it. Coach Ganiff, quarterback Ganiff, sometimes they're like coaches on the field, getting some information from the sidelines. It's going to give him pretty good field position.
Boy, a costly mistake for the Warriors. 15 big ones.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, automatic.
Let's see it here.
He's setting up in the pocket a lot of time. Oh, yeah, a little bit late. Also, when you start getting down low on the knees, they'll do everything they can to protect the quarterback. So that's a good call. I don't think it was a cheap shot. The defender was just coming in low, and that's where his path took him.
So at the 39 now. Eisenhower with time, 25 seconds to go. Gnip to throw with good protection. Near side, floats it up, caught by Masano. And it's complete at the 29. Perfect out route. I thought the ball was underthrown at first, but Masano had just enough room to pull it in.
And the amazing part of that entire play was that there's a one-man pass route. You're going to see right here, it looks like he's running a wheel down the sideline. Good look inside by Masano. He runs a stop to the sidelines up and 1 foot in. It's hard to tell when those blonde heads was in the way on the sidelines. Hard to tell which one it is. There's about 80 of them down there.
But look at the presence of mind of Masano to get his feet inbounds here.
Great shot. Remember, in high school, 1 foot, not 2. We hear the crowd buzz a little bit. 1 foot in, and he definitely had his back foot in. So a nice job of Masano. I like when he ran the route, Fred, how he kind of gave a little look back inside to make the defender think he's going deep. Snaps the out to the outside. A good job. And how about the time that Gnip had sitting up in the pocket?
The measurement. First down, Utica Eisenhower with 19 ticks left. Watch Masano again getting that left foot in.
You want me to draw it up right here? That's all he needs right there. That's all he needs. And that's a good job by Masano. Excellent job by the officials. And this is kind of rare for me. When I do radio for Eastern in the fall, Fred, sometimes I get on the officials a little bit. It's nice to do a game like this where you really don't care who wins. You just want to see a good game so the officials don't seem to bother you as much. But these men are doing a great job.
Masano was being recruited by Eastern Michigan before Rick Rasnick was fired. So it remains to be seen whether he'll go to Ipsy. Gnip to throw. Looking downfield. First tall receiver. Off his fingertips. He knows he should have had it.
Wow. He had Lorenzo Parker beat too. Masano, what a ball by Gnip. A great job. Comes a little bit of motion. They like that. It's easy to beat the general. Inside, outside. Using the hands. Gets away with a little bit of a push. Watch this. Right off the fingers. He wants it back. And it's a shame because a young man like Masano, who's made so many catches, 49, coming into today for 700 yards. And we're going to look at Gnip's reaction after the incomplete. I got it. We don't have it. But you know what? I like that. He's not hitting his thighs, Fred. He's not drawing attention to the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. Still time for another player, too. Gnip to throw. Too high again, but he was double covered, was Masano. Lorenzo Parker was the man mainly on the ball. 8 seconds left to go in this half. And if you're thinking field goal, Grzywolski has the leg. He has one field goal of 43 yards for his long this year. In fact, he's knocked down 8 of 9 in three-point try. But right now it would be a 46-yard kick. Look at the time of possession. Almost triple for Walled Lake Western. 3rd and 10, 9 seconds to go in the half. Gnip, good pass rush, steps up, he's eaten up. Back to the 35 by Todd Soroki. So Walled Lake Western says, we're not giving up anything here. There is 1 second left to go in the half. Soroki, the tackles leader for Western, comes up with a big play.
This is a situation where you wish Jason Hansen from the Lions had another year at high school eligibility. Good pressure inside, good inside rush, good outside rush. Nowhere for Gnip to go. And if you're going to be successful in containing a quarterback, you need to have pressure from all sides, equal pressure. You don't want to have good pressure inside, but no contain and vice versa. At that time, Walled Lake brought it from all 4 sides.
Well, let's see if Bob Lancey's play script has a Hail Mary that works. We saw Tim Couch do this a few weeks ago at the pro level for the Cleveland Browns. It works every once in a while. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line.
And look who's coming in the sideline right now. Number 47 just put his helmet on. He's coming in the game. I think he's going to be one of the young men that they do a Hail Mary where they split 3 guys out into a crowd. They're going to put John DeGiorgio as one of those because he's coming in the game right now along with quarterback Gnip.
Bob Lansing his 29th year at Utica Eisenhower. First trip to the finals. The officials want 2 seconds left on the clock, and they have not been able to change it. So you'll notice a 1001 before they start the clock. Clancy has said it's okay. I don't need an extra second for this play anyway.
Unless he's got a real slow center.
Western wants a timeout. And they get it called. Let's listen in now on the Walled Lake Western huddle over here.
Easy, see you on TV right now.
Really?
Yeah. Looking good, though.
Good.
How are you, Jimmy? Say hi to Mom.
Z knows that the hair looks good on television.
Kids told me he's up on the big screen right now and he's looking good.
The little subplots of a state championship football game.
Look at James King, the young man that Coach Z has kind of almost adopted as a son, helped take care of, and he's done so much for James, and he's given him a bright future, and it's a tribute to Coach Z and his staff and him as an individual too.
Coming up at halftime, Hold the Rope. It's a feature about the East Jackson football team. You'll enjoy that one. Also, we'll take our usual look at the highlights and hear from both coaches. We're going to be flipping a coin as to which coach we hear first. Normally, we hear the coach that leads at halftime. But right now, Messrs. Lancey and Zadebski are dead even at 7. Western crowd on its feet. Yanip the throw up. Down the middle of the field, incomplete. And that will finish 2 hard contested quarters of championship football in Division I. 7-7. Utica struck first with an interception touchdown return. And then Walled Lake Western answered in the second quarter with a TD pass of their own. And we are knotted for the Division I championship. Let's head down to the field now where Shireen Saski has a coaching guest.
Thanks a lot, Fred. I'm with Coach Zadebski, and you've got to be happy with the way things ended up in the first half after 2 interceptions early on.
Yeah, we're very happy with the situation we're in now. The tables are clean. We just need to go regroup in the second half and try to make some adjustments and see what we can take advantage of.
Defensively, you're handling Eisenhower well, but only 1 first down, I believe, in the first half. Offensively, though, what do you need to do to keep it going?
We just got to keep mixing things up. They're very, very good. They're coming up hard on run support, and they don't give you a whole lot of room to breathe.
You hear about John DiGiorgio all the time. All of a sudden, his brother Joe is making some highlights out there.
Bad part is that kid's only a sophomore. He can move in with us if he ever wants to.
We'll let him know. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Good luck in the second half. Fred, let's send it back up to you.
I wonder if that's tampering.
Spoken like a coach. Always begging for more.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not enough to get to the title game. You want to win it and look beyond for next year and the years to come. Good ball game here at the Silverdome. Division I title up for grabs. Pain and pleasure all wrapped up in one. 7-7 at intermission on Fox Sports Net.
Fall is the season in Michigan for girls basketball, with over 700 teams vying for the opportunity to play in the MHSAA Finals December 2nd through the 4th at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. There's nothing like MHSAA tournament action. Catch it. Tickets are now on sale at the CMU Athletic Ticket Office. Call 188-FIRE-UP-2 for more information. Final sponsors are Farm Bureau Insurance and the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. And watch the finals live on Fox Sports Net.
Now there's 2 new ways to save all night long. Sprint Nickel Nights just got better, and you get to choose which way is best for you. Now, when you switch to Sprint Nickel Nights, you can choose to include that great 5 cents a minute.
I am the changing face of real estate. I'm an ear, and I'm a voice. I am Caldwell Banker. I'm a commitment, a promise. I am a guarantee. I am Caldwell Banker. and I will sell your home.
Call your local office and discover what real estate should be.
Chin Jewelry is having a huge sale. Save up to 55%, even 80%. Every diamond ring, all exciting jewelry, famous name watches too. Everything included. Gold, rubies, emeralds, silver, white gold, pearls. Everything's included. Chin Jewelry's huge sale. Don't miss it.
Chin Jewelry, founded in 1934 by Hugh Chin, has been a part of the Royal Oak community since 1969. For the ultimate in jewelry, shop Chin Jewelry, your Royal Oak Diamond Center.
This is the 35th anniversary of the MHSAA High School Football Finals, and boy, it is an event rich in tradition and excellence. High school football gives players a chance to bond, have a common bond between one another. At East Jackson High School, the players and coaches have found an unusual way to pull this team together. Respect, trust, pride, determination, attributes every coach tries to instill in their players. At East Jackson High, Coach Mark Razkowski and his staff used a simple motivational tool to focus their players.
One of the coaches found it on the internet, that saying, and everybody just kind of took to it.
What it's all about is how you got to trust the people to hold the rope on top of the mountain, and if you're willing to have your hands burned by holding that rope for all your teammates, then you're part of this team and you will be successul.
I believe in it a lot. I mean, all these guys on the team are like my best friends. I mean, I don't really have many friends that aren't on a football team. I mean, these are the guys that I hang out with all the time and the guys that I trust to do just about anything.
And with a group of seniors and the whole varsity team, it was such a tight relationship. It was better, even more tight than last year. It was like a sense of unity with the team.
It was introduced end of last year in the springtime. I gave it to our seniors and said, this is what we're going to do, and I gave each senior a little 6-inch piece of rope to start it going.
It may have been a lot to ask of a piece of rope to turn around a football program with almost no prior success.
We have spent a large dry spell between now and the last time we were in the playoffs. The last time the playoffs weren't even the playoffs as we knew it even a year ago. It was pre-70s, I believe.
They are very, very good bunch of kids, but I don't think they were directed in the right way. And so all I had to do was kind of direct them where we had to be contenders, and they bit into it, and now we hope it continues.
East Jackson was expecting great things in football in 1999. This was Mark's 4th year as head coach at East Jackson, and this season was something he had been striving for since he applied for the job.
We had a one-on-one talking about different aspects of the program. And again, we're not emphasizing the winning aspects. We're looking at the totality of the program and what young men and young women in our athletic program will gain from those positive experiences of high school athletics.
He shows them about the rights to learn to be a responsible individual, builds up their character, and then he starts working with them as athletes. And if you can make your classroom the football field, that is indeed one very special teacher.
Coach Raz and his staff prepared for what would be his greatest season on the field. But events off the field overshadowed football. Pam Razkowski, Mark's wife, was dying.
3 years ago, she woke up in the morning and she saw a lump on her neck, and she went to the doctor, and our family doctor rushed her right to a specialist, and they said that we got to do a biopsy on it right away. And next thing I know, she was diagnosed with cancer. And we went through the 12 cycles. She became in remission. God, it must have been 16 months that she was in remission. Asked the doctor if we could have any more children, and he said, I don't see a problem, why not? Because then Luke was born 4.5 weeks early, and she still had like 3 more cycles of the chemo. And then one day I came home, and she was sitting, our couch was like this, and she was sitting there, and she was very quiet. And I was just standing over there, and she just came, and I saw her starting to cry. And then, my wife was very strong. She was better off than I was. And she just said that the cancer was not gone, and it was back, and now they got to decide what they can do or what they're gonna do.
that was a very difficult time, I think, for all of us. Mark lives in the community. You know, he goes to church in the area. When we knew that this was coming and this was a possibility, it was a scary proposition because it could hit anybody.
Well, there was a community-wide concern. It's kind of like an extended family, and people wanting to know how Mark's doing, how Pam's doing, how the kids are, his mom and dad, and how the student athletes were responding to the crisis in Mark's family.
High school football is not about life or death. Everyone held the rope a little tighter.
When he was gone and when his wife was sick and then we found out she died, he wasn't out there a whole lot.
I was really in shock, and I just kind of sat back and thought about it, and then I went over to another football player's house, and there was already 4 or 5 other guys over there, and we just kind of sat down and talked about it for a little while.
We knew we were going to have to do something for Red because handling a situation like that on your own is tough. And Steve and Jason, they came up with the idea to make a rope with everybody's name on it.
Quarterback Steve Rumsey put it around my neck and said, "We're hanging on to the rope for you now." And that started it. That started it with the players. And I think that, you know, they held the rope for me, and so I felt, you know, during the funeral and that, I knew that they felt very strong about holding the rope, and I knew that we had a great relationship as a coach and a player.
A season of the highest highs and the lowest lows. East Jackson's season ended with a loss, but in the end, everyone showed the heart of a champion.
Learn from this season. Carry it with you the rest of your life, seniors. I can't ask for a better senior group than you. Juniors, underclassmen. Know what this feels like and go get it next year. Hold the rope!
Sometimes the toughest tragedies pull the team the tightest together. That was the case for East Jackson, also the case for Walled Lake Western. Earlier this season, in the 9th week of the season, they lost one of their former players. In honor of Ryan Oren, they are wearing number 12 on their helmets. Oren was a defensive lineman who started on the '96 championship team. The players wearing the number 12, coach said, to remind them of how precious life is. Fred?
And underscoring that football indeed is just a game. Thank you very much, Shireen. Intermission at the Silverdome in Division I. We'll be back with a look at some of the key plays from the first 2 quarters after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Now at Little Caesars, get any 2 medium pizzas with up to 13 toppings for $12.99.
You can get ham and pepperoni. Get ham, pepperoni, and mushroom. You see where I'm going with this? Any combination up to 13 toppings. 13 toppings.
2 medium pizzas, round or deep dish, up to 13 toppings, even extra cheese, only $12.99.
Any combination that you can think of, I can make it. I can. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. Challenge me. What do you want? I make pizzas. I make you happy.
Pizza, pizza.
I love this guy.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans. Designed better than they need to be. Like the incredibly smooth-riding 2000 GMC Jimmy, an SUV with a full-length steel frame, its backbone. Lease a 2000 Jimmy 4-wheel drive SLE for as low as $299 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
Hot rods, hot buds, and the music of the Beach Boys. They're coming Saturday night, December 11th, live on stage at the Palace. Are you ready? Everybody's concerned. The Beach Boys. Serving USA. We'll turn the night into a giant beach party. Hurry, get your tickets now at the Palace box office and all Ticketmasters or charge by phone. Seats as low as $15. Don't miss the Beach Boys.
7-7 our score. Former Country Day High School coach Joe D'Angelo, or Joe D, is our on-field analyst, but another Joe D has stolen the show with a couple of picks. Joe DiGiorgio for Utica Eisenhower, right, Shireen?
That's right, Fred. And Coach, you know, we talked at the top of the show about the rookie coach on the Walled Lake Western sideline. You were pretty happy with some of his calls today.
Yes, I was. Actually, I was talking to Chuck Apap, who was the former head coach at Western. And just after the second interception, he was shaking his head. He said, I think what I would do is just tighten up my line, block down and kick out and run the ball. Well, it was really nice to see that rookie coach, Coach Zabdetsky, decided not to go with that and stick with his game plan of throwing the ball. And he came back out and he believed in it, and he ended up scoring a touchdown. So good for him. Maybe being a rookie like that, he doesn't have any fear yet.
Not yet. Maybe that'll come later on.
Yeah, he's not conservative.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Fred, let's send it back up to you.
All right, Shereen. Coach Z was a defensive coordinator under the aforementioned Chuck A. Papp, but now running not only the offense, but the entire Walled Lake Western program. Back with a look at the numbers in a moment.
You can't predict. You can't predict when.
Your wife has been
Where?
in a serious accident. Terrible accident.
How?
We did all we could.
But life goes on. It's not who you call after. It's who you call before.
Unrivaled connectivity to the arts and entertainment, science and medicine, industry and education. Wayne State University, a comprehensive national research university entering a new era of greatness. 200,000 alumni already know, and 32,000 students are learning. Wayne State University is the intellectual hub of Metro Detroit. Connect to us. Call toll-free 877-WSU-INFO or visit us at wayne.edu.
Well, what'll it be, sweetheart?
Let me guess. A nice, cold Pepsi. I wouldn't want to hear one of those crazy voices of yours, huh?
Honey, you ain't heard nothing yet. Hit it, fellas.
Utica Eisenhower scored first on an interception touchdown return. Walled Lake answered in the second quarter. And I guess the Eagles of Eisenhower have to feel fortunate, Rob Rubik, to be in this ball game. Only 24 total yards for the Eagles, but they've done it with defense, starting with the first interception.
Well, they've done it with defense, Fred, and they've done it with intensity on defense, swarming defense, getting big plays from different people, not relying just on John DeLangelo or DeGiorgio, but Joe DeGiorgio also coming up with big plays today. A great effort totally by the Eisenhower defense.
All right, take a look at the highlights of the first half, beginning with the sophomore with his first of two swipes.
And look right here, one of the first plays, falls off in a zone, Joseph. DeGiorgio comes in there, makes a play, an ill-advised pass by Chris Payton. DeGiorgio there taking it the distance, a huge play for the Eisenhower defense. Now let's take a look again at the Eisenhower defense. Once again, Joe DeGiorgio stepping in front, brother John leading them. If it wasn't for a little bit of a clip right there, that could have been a huge play because he returns it to the 5-yard line.
As a result of the clip, Eisenhower was not able to cash in that turnover, and then Walled Lake Western got on the board as Payton on the money with a touchdown pass, eventually coming up off this drive where he was starting to make some completions.
Well, nice job by Payton buying time, also by Ruthier, who just finds a little soft area in the corner of the zone there, sits down, gets the pass delivered, big play for Walled Lake.
And then Western with a defensive stand to close the half to make sure that no Hail Mary was forthcoming for Eisenhower. This first half certainly has been punctuated by defense, but look at this. The rushing total for Utica, minus 16.
That's incredible. And minus total 8 yards, 6 minutes and 38 seconds in possession time. That is a tremendous defensive effort by the Warriors.
We got total yards, minus 8 to 88, and the time of possession, almost 3-1. Our halftime stats brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. We're moments away from the kickoff to begin the third quarter. It's the Division I championship at the Silverdome. Back with that kick after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Fall is the season in Michigan for girls basketball, with over 700 teams vying for the opportunity to play in the MHSAA Finals December 2nd through the 4th at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. There's nothing like MHSAA tournament action. Catch it. Tickets are now on sale at the CMU Athletic Ticket Office. Call 188-FIRE-UP-2 for more information. Final sponsors are Farm Bureau Insurance and the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. And watch the finals live on Fox Sports Net.
Now at Little Caesars, get any 2 medium pizzas with up to 13 toppings for $12.99.
You can get ham and pepperoni. Get ham, pepperoni, and mushroom. You see where I'm going with this? Any combination up to 13 toppings. 13 toppings.
2 medium pizzas, round or deep dish, up to 13 toppings, even extra cheese, only $12.99.
Any combination that you can think of, I can make it. I can. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. Challenge me. What do you want? I make pizzas. I make you happy.
Pizza, pizza.
I love this guy.
Detroit hockey fans, score 3 ways with Murray's Wednesday night hat trick. Fox Sports Net has teamed up with Murray's Discount Auto Stores. For every Wednesday night hockey game on Fox Sports Net, you can tune in to win awesome Detroit hockey gear and a cool Murray's car care kit. Enter at participating Murray's Discount Auto Stores and also win a shot at one of 2 autographed game jerseys or the grand prize, a trip for 2 to see Detroit play in Colorado. Wednesdays are huge thanks to Murray's Wednesday night hat trick and Fox Sports Net.
Well, maybe Bob Lancey put a call into his former college teammate Lloyd Carr on how to find some offense as Eisenhower and Walled Lake Western knotted in a 7-7 tie. Let's go down to Shereen and head coach Bob Lancey.
Thanks a lot, Fred. And Coach, boy, what a wild first half out there. The ball moving back and forth, but just 14 points on the board. Talk about that first touchdown. Every time we say DiGiorgio, you think we're going to say John. All of a sudden, it's Joe, the star out there.
I just unreal. We know they're 2 of the finest athletes we have in the school, and I think both of them have shined out there in the first half. Maybe the secret would have been if we played defense the whole 24 minutes.
I don't know if you want to do that. They might get a little bit tired, but let's talk about your offense. Just a couple of first downs in the first half. What adjustments are you going to make to get some points on the board in the second half offensively?
Well, they're pressuring us an awful lot, and we're going to have to go right at them quick and try to pop something up the middle. And we got to go quicker routes and maybe work into the middle of the field with our receivers. I'd say that would be the secret.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Fred, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, Shereen. Brian Gniff, the quarterback, wants to have some time to throw. He's been sacked 3 times in the first half by that Warrior quarterback eating defense. We'll be back for the third quarter after this.
Do you like football? Then get with the program. Wow! NFL This Morning. It's the pregame show for the serious fan. Those who boasted got toasted. Don't miss a minute of the in-your-face coverage and hard-hitting action of the NFL.
I love what I do and I do what I love.
Then it's wall-to-wall football every weeknight with Fox Sports Net football news at 6. Get all the very latest from pro, college, and prep football. NFL This Morning and Fox Sports Net football news. Get with the program.
I love this car. Looks good, runs great, and I want to keep it that way. Well, why not? She's a classic, just like me.
At Precision Tune Auto Care, we understand you love your car. So from oil changes and brakes to diagnostics and scheduled maintenance, we have all the services you need to keep it going.
But you know the real reason I want to keep this car going? Chicks dig it.
Precision Tune Auto Care. Keep it going.
We're knotted at 7 to begin the second half here at the Silverdome. Division I finale. Utica Eisenhower trying to become the second Macomb County team to win a football championship. You have to go back to 1978 when Warren Woods prevailed. And Macomb County football over the years, the MAC conference, as hard to hitting conference as there is in the state, I think.
Well, I don't think it gets the respect that it deserves. As yesterday's Saginaw show come from the Saginaw Valley Conference, which is a conference that year in, year out has put people in the playoffs and gone very far. The Macomb Conference, the same type of deal, and it's tough. And it's tough to get here out of that league because they beat each other up during the course of the season and even into the playoffs.
Well, Lancey's team had to beat Sterling Heights Stevenson, their longtime nemesis, in the playoffs, and they did it after losing to that school 8 successive times. Mike Zadepski, meanwhile, imagine that first year as a head coach, and he coaches in the state championship game, and obviously a dream come true all of a sudden in his head coaching career.
very appreciative of what I have because there's many, many great coaches that have never had a chance to play in a game like this or even have a season like this. So to all the assistant coaches and to all of our players that we have and have had, that's the whole reason that we're here right now.
So Coach Z, who played high school ball at Garden City and then collegiately at Olivet, as I mentioned, tutored under Chuck Apap at Walled Lake Western and winds up getting here as the school in the finals again. There you see the road to the finals for these two teams. Eisenhower winning at King and then beating Clarkston, forcing 7 turnovers last week. Walled Lake Western blitzed John Glenn and then beat last year's state finalist in Division AA, Rockford. And that's the team that pushed Catholic Central to the limit before the Shamrock prevailed. So here we go to start the third quarter. Alan Mukhtar to boot it away for the Warriors. Back deep, Hoover and Josephik. That's Hoover number 27 for the Eagles. Hoover inside his foul. Runs into his own man. Gets up short of the 20-yard line. As Zach Penn brought him down. In the first half, Eisenhower with 5 possessions, 4 punts, and then they give it up. First their touchdown coming on the interception. And this is a team that's as diverse as there is offensively, really in the state. A very intricate offense, which is why the quarterback, Brian Gannett, literally reads it from his card and then stuffs it inside his belt buckle. First and 10, Eagles at the 19. Ball given off to Josephik. Picks up a few yards on the left side. So a gain of 4, second down and 6 for Utica Eisenhower. Came in at 11-2. Their losses came to Chippewa Valley and Sterling Heights Stevenson in the middle of the season. One night it was rainy, the next week I should say, the field was wet. And as a result, kind of negated some of the speed that we've seen Eisenhower show here this afternoon. Toss to DeGiorgio. Finds a surge across the 25. Short of the first down, brought down by Nemer Nahai.
2 plays, 2 running plays, and pretty good gains. You see it right here, pulling out, a good job, kicking out DeGiorgio, staying in the hole. And he's a banger. Once he gets going up the field, it's tough to bring him down. But what Eisenhower has done for on first and second down, they've come out and tried to reestablish a running game. I shouldn't say reestablish, I should say establish, because they haven't been able to establish it the entire day. So those are 2 positive plays.
Third down and 1 at the 28 for Ike. Western showing blitz. 2 linebackers coming. DeGiorgio turns the corner, gets a block, gets the first down. Josephik was out there in front of him along with Lacombe. And Farkas had to make the stop, but not until the Eagles come up with that first down. Well, listen, DeGiorgio, as I mentioned, is going to be a starting running back next year, but in this junior season, he didn't want to run the ball at all. He felt it took away too much from his #1 duties playing linebacker, but then they were really forced to go with him with the season and the balance, and they're glad that he did. Came up with more than 300 yards rushing.
Well, every coach would love the 2 platoon, which means play 11 different people on offense and defense. But when you get to this level in the playoffs, when you got an exceptional, outstanding player like DeGiorgio, you got to get him in there as much as you can.
It's a compliment to his skills. Again, Western showing blitz. Gannett changing the call at the line, but taking too much time to do it. So it'll cost him 5. Sending him back to the 26.
Dead ball foul, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Western showing more blitz packages here in the third quarter.
Well, that's what happens when the defense coordinator, you get a couple runs against you for 4 or 5 yards. Let's show him something else. Let's try to put a little fear into him. You don't want to let him get any rhythm, as Utica was starting to develop there. And so you show him some blitz and give him a different wrinkle.
Get up the hand up, double reverse. It's Hoover to his left side, across the 35. determined run by Chris Hoover, the junior, brought down by Delores Saman, but a pickup of 9 yards.
They'd set this play up by the previous two, running off tackle to the right. That time Hoover gets it going around the left end. He's looking downfield. And if a couple of the Eisenhower players, Klenau, he's sitting out here all by himself, number 59, he needs to locate the runner and pick up a man, because he's sitting right here and he doesn't get anyone. I think if sometimes the linemen, they get caught in space, and you don't know who to hit.
2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Their best drive so far. Hoover gets the call again, but he's bottled up. May have gotten a yard, depending on the spot. Ethan Farkas there to meet him. Gain of 1. 3rd and 4 for the Eagles.
Let's go back to that first down delay of game. When you're having a hard time picking up first downs, which Eisenhower had, 2 in the game and 1 by penalty, you can't, a 5-yard penalty is like a 15-yard penalty. It's hard to overcome. They're doing a pretty good job so far, but if they wouldn't have had that penalty, this would be a 1st and 10.
But the double reverse certainly helps. Now, maybe a passing situation for Gannett. Or will they go with a toss sweep? They change the formation. Gannett off play action. Overthrows John DeGiorgio. I don't know if he would have made the first down anyway. It was well defended over there. Brent Irwin was step for step with DeGiorgio.
Well, he rushes this just a little bit, Brian Gannett does, because he has Cody Cargill right in his face. I think if he would have planted himself, delivered the ball without rushing so, quite so quickly, it could have been a completed pass and kept the drive going. Well, there they go. That 5-yard penalty comes back to haunt him.
So Todd Moore will punt it away for Eisenhower. Brandy inside his 30 to receive it. Good rush. Got it away. And the ball will be spotted at the 33-yard line of Walled Lake Western. Defense continues to rule here at the Silverdome. Chris Payton, the QB. First half, 7 for 11 for 71 yards. 52% passer during the regular season, 5 touchdown throws. He was intercepted twice. But he had 2 big TD runs in their semifinal win over Rockford. Ball given on. Brian Tomina turns it up for a hard yard. Walled Lake Western so far with their 6 first half possessions did finally get the touchdown, but a couple of turnovers almost cost them 14 points. 2nd and 8 for the Warriors at the 35. 7:50 and ticking in the 3rd quarter. O'Brien in motion. Ball given off inside to Cargill, their horse. Picks up 4 yards to the 39, where Jeff Beneteau made the stop for the Eagles. Cargill now was 19 yards rushing, but 9 attempts. Keep in mind, he came in with a 6-yard per carry average. 16 touchdowns for the senior as well. Both defenses have wiped out the other's running game, by and large. 3rd and 4 for Walled Lake. Play action. Payton keeps it on his hip. Nowhere to go. Petrosky buried him. That'll go down as another sack. The 4th of the day for the Ike defense.
This is something you don't see a lot from high school. Look at both guards right there. They both pull out to the right like it's going to be the boot to the right. He comes back on a naked boot to the left. And if the defense doesn't read their keys and flow with the guards, that play is going to break down, as we saw there. If you're going to false key, you better hope they go there. If not, there's going to be a lot of people in your face.
So Joseph again back to field a punt for Eisenhower. They should get better field position this time. Pisha's kick is a low liner. Josephik with time. But he's brought down right away by Morandi. Fine coverage by the Warriors. And Ike kick again will be inside its own 30-yard line, and a defensive tussle in Pontiac.
Fall is the season in Michigan for girls basketball, with over 700 teams vying for the opportunity to play in the MHSAA Finals December 2nd through the 4th at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. There's nothing like MHSAA tournament action. Catch it. Tickets are now on sale at the CMU Athletic Ticket Office. Call 188-FIRE-UP-2 for more information. Final sponsors are Farm Bureau Insurance and the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. And watch the finals live on Fox.
Do you have a hearing loss? Thousands of free loan open caption videos are available to you. Just select a video from our printed or CD-ROM catalog or online at www.cfv.org. Perfect for the classroom, at home, or even in the workplace. Call today, 1-800-237-6213, voice, or 1-800-237-6819, TTY.
Hi, I'm Ashley. Ready, let's sing. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gone.
What should you do to stop a friend from driving drunk? Whatever you have to.
Seven here in the third quarter, almost halfway through at the Silverdome. More high school football state champions to be crowned later today. Join Larry Henry and John Wangler for the Division 5 battle between Muskegon Orchard View and Detroit Country Day. Live coverage begins at 5 p.m. here on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive television home, of course, of MHSAA football and basketball championships. Eisenhower putting it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here comes Western again. Gnip in trouble. Down he goes. Inside his 20. Lost it. Recovered, though, by Eisenhower. So they'll pick up a couple yards that they wouldn't have had with the sack. Clenow recovered for Eisenhower.
Okay, let's take a look here. We're walking up the backers. They're coming here, 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 here. We're bringing 6 people inside. Everyone's coming. And here they come. They're going to get pressure. And when you see that, you get man-to-man coverage behind it. Gnip has got to throw the ball on rhythm. He can't keep it. When you set your feet, you got to throw it, because if not, this is what happens. All of a sudden, you're surrounded by red shirts.
Look at the tackles for losses, 12 combined so far. Emmer Haddad was a part of that pass rush. 2nd and 12 for Ike. Ball given off inside a gaping hole. Nick Josevic by far with his best run of the day. Ethan Farkas finally brought him down, but a gain of 13 for Eisenhower. In fact, it's their best running play in this half, easily.
Let's watch what happens here. We're going to get some movement. Linebackers loop outside right here. Look at Michaud, and look at the opening that they have to run up inside. They're on an outside loop game with the middle linebacker. Oh, and they get caught. They get caught with your pants down when that happens, Fred. If you're committing to the outside stunt, your defensive linemen have got to be solid inside and protect the A-gaps.
So 1st and 10 for Eisenhower at the 35. Double reverse again. Lasano has some running room as he turns the corner up near midfield, forced out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Finally shoved out by Lorenzo Parker, but 13 more yards. The second time we've seen the reverse pulled off.
Eisenhower showing a little bit something different here. The reverse to Hoover to back to Masano. And he showed me something I didn't know he had, Fred. He had pretty good speed getting to the corner and running it out of bounds. We're going to get a better look here. The hand, the double reverse. And this is what teams resort to when the regular type of offense isn't working. There's a nice block downfield by number 2, Lacombe. When the regular offense doesn't work, you got to try something. You got to pull a rabbit out of your hat. And right now, Coach Lancey figures, hey, if we can't just pound it on them, we got to trick them. Sometimes you have to.
So 1st and 10 for Utica. Eisenhower at the 48. Again, a triple reverse this time. And Gnip is pulverized at the 45 by Adam Michaud, along with James King. They lose 3.
Well, if the double reverse, they figure, goes for 10, they're going to try to run a triple reverse for 15. But sometimes you can outplay yourself. We go bing, bang, boom. Back to the quarterback. A double reverse, back to the quarterback, trying to get the corner, but no one was fooled. Lorenzo Parker staying home, doing a good job playing his zone in the corner. Is right there, and trick plays are one thing, but you can't make your living doing them all the time.
Well, Lloyd Carr, if you're watching, I'm sure you're thinking, I didn't phone that play into my college pal. Gannett throwing. Has Masano on the slant. At the 45-yard line, he's dropped by Lorenzo Parker. But a pickup of 11. So 3 double-digit plays for Eisenhower in this drive.
Right now, Brian Gannett starting to feel a little bit, get a little rhythm, get just enough time, throws a slant to Masano. Watch Parker finish. Wham! Wham! I tell you, that's a big-time hit. You see, it pushes him to the outside enough to open up the slant, but you got to like the finish and the way Parker closed, Fred, and limited that to just about a 9 or 10-yard play instead of a bigger one.
3 and some change to play in the third quarter. Walled Lake Western side on its feet, exhorting the defense. On a 3rd and 2. Gannett rolls. Pass is caught by Hoover, short of the first down. James King with the speed to close on the play.
Well, Hoover got sucked up by James King that time. He had no chance in a flat. James King, number 2, doing a great job.
You may have heard us talk about King at the outset. Now he's bonded with his head coach.
These two are going to go just
here.
like this. They're going to clear out. But what happens is the linebacker inside, trying to get a number here, Fred, on the replay, does a good job. And it's James King. He falls off. He reads it quick enough where he doesn't respect the 2 guys clear out. He falls off and makes the play. Good defensive job by Walled Lake Western.
Well, as a result, Eisenhower has to punt. Low kick. Trying to drive it inside the 20. Picked up on the run, though, nicely by Morandi. Forced out of bounds by Tynan. So another timeout. This is going to be a battle of field position. Eisenhower finally moved it, but Western stiffened. Back with a Warrior possession after this.
Now at Little Caesars, get any 2 medium pizzas with up to 13 toppings for $12.99.
You can get ham and pepperoni. Get ham, pepperoni, and mushroom. You see where I'm going with this? Any combination up to 13 toppings. 13 toppings.
2 medium pizzas, round or deep dish, up to 13 toppings, even extra cheese, only $12.99.
Any combination that you can think of, I can make it. I can. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. Challenge me. What do you want? I make pizzas. I make you happy.
Pizza, pizza.
I love this guy.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans. Designed better than they need to be. Like the incredibly smooth-riding 2000 GMC Jimmy, an SUV with a full-length steel frame, its backbone. Lease a 2000 Jimmy 4-wheel drive SLE for as low as $299 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
Sunday at 9 on Going Deep. What's a nice girl like her doing in a place like this? Saddle up for a rodeo version of Beauty and the Beast. Plus, we're going deep with Broadway Joe. Sunday at 9 on Fox Sports Net. It's the best of Sunday night fights. Joel Casamayor takes his shot at a world title. Sunday night fights at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Well, the pressure is beginning to build. Nobody wants to make the mistake that cost his team the state championship. More than 14 minutes to play. But in a defensive struggle like this, a turnover could be the deciding factor. Ball given off inside. Cargill, the ball carrier. Picks up about 6 yards. Brought down by John DeGiorgio.
Walled Lake's had a little bit of success the last few times with the ball, with the play where they take the one back to Mina and they put him in motion, and then they just run the dive inside. He kind of makes the outside linebacker wide a little bit, makes the middle a little bit softer, and they've been able to get 4 or 5 yards inside.
Seems like Western has had more effect running the ball inside as opposed to the toss sweeps and the wide plays because of the Eisenhower speed. 2nd and 5. Ball given off inside. Jim O'Brien, but that time he was met head on. Picked up a yard or 2. Dave Ianta on the stop for the Eagles. Gain of 2. It'll bring up another third down call.
And this is why the coaches get paid the big money at the high school level, Fred. They got to come up with a 3rd down and 3 situation, and nothing's really worked too well offensively. And you want to call a play that you think you can get a 1st down with, but that you're not going to turn the ball over.
Western's only 3 of 8 so far in converting these 3rd downs into firsts. They're at the 35. Peyton throwing near side, has Parker, but couldn't connect. He made the turn to the outside and had a step on the DB, but Peyton not able to put it on the money.
Well, this is kind of a unique play. You're going to watch, they're going to bring the man in motion right here, and he's going to loop, and he's going to pump the bubble screen here, then he's going to run him down the field. Let's take a look here. They motion him across, actually pump both sides, and he comes back and tries to throw the fade. A nice job, but Eisenhower really didn't bite too bad on it when he went to the weak side with the pump fake.
So Nick Josephik back to retrieve yet one more punt from Mike Pisha. Josephik again inside his own 30. Pisha gets it away. A low bouncer. One hop to Josephik. Evades one tackle. Lost it. Western football. Recovered at the 43-yard line. And the Warriors come up with their first turnover of the afternoon. Pisha, the punter, with a driving kick, and then he recovers the loose football. How about that? Dave Barandi is the guy who stripped it, and then Pisha comes up with a free football.
Well, they teach high school kids now. You see Morandi getting on it. There it is. He pulls it out. And that's what they coach nowadays. They don't go for the big hits sometimes to cause a fumble. They teach your kids, you grab the ball, especially if someone else has the ball carrier, you tackle the ball.
So Western, with their best field position to start a drive. Final half minute of the 3rd quarter as they go to work. Peyton to throw. Up top. Broken up. Fine pass defense that time by Brent Klein. That would have been about a 25-yard gainer.
Well, you've been...
Peyton put again too much air under that pass.
But you've been around football long enough to realize what Coach Zepsky just tried to do. You get a big turnover. Right now, you go for the jugular. You come out, you do play action on 1st down. You throw the ball 40 yards down the field trying to get the big touchdown play. When you hopefully the defense is a little bit down after the turnover. Eisenhower didn't bite. They were ready for the big pass play. Were all covered and almost intercepted.
Randy getting the congrats because he made that strip. Giving Western a chance to maybe take the lead here. But they've got to pick up some 1st down to at least get the field goal range. Cargill, the ball carrier, tries to turn the corner. Does so. Broke one tackle of John DeGiorgio. And Cody getting down inside the 40. So Sean Burke had to finally make the stop.
So they started out in an empty set, Fred, with no one in the backfield, and then they bring him in motion right here, and he gets a great crackback. I'm not sure who gets it, but right there, he gets 2 players. I'm trying to get a number on the ground there. I want to give the credit to Derek Smith. There it is, 1, 2. Great job by Derek Smith, taking out 2 defenders. And the hardest part is he doesn't block below the waist, and he doesn't clip in the back. So a good job by Derek Smith.
So a gain of 5 for the Warriors. At the 38, 3rd and 5. Ball given up to Cargill. 1st down, and then some. Getting some surge from his offensive line. Clint Cadieux had to make the tackle. But Cargill finally getting some running room now in this 2nd half. He only had 14 yards in the 1st half.
Look at the surge up front, the push by the red shirts. The whole wall of white is getting pushed back. And when you get that type of push with an offensive line, 2 yards becomes 2 inches really quick. And a good job by the interior of the Wall Lake line. That was Larry Bigger leading that center. Great job.
They're going to let the clock go to end the 3rd quarter. And talk about this 1st and 10 possession coming up. But Western feeling like it has the chance now to take the lead. It's been a defensive battle all game long. Turnovers a part of this story. The fumble forced, and now Coach Lancey's team has its back against the wall in a 7-7 affair.
You can't predict. You can't predict when.
Your wife has been in a serious accident. Terrible accident.
How?
We did all we could.
But life goes on. It's not who you call after. It's who you call before.
An OmniPoint phone makes a really useful holiday gift because it's the only wireless phone with a brain. It can send a message from one OmniPoint phone to another, or email it from your computer, or send voicemail.
Oh, one more thing. I love you, Daddy.
The gift that keeps on giving. Activate by December 31st and get 400 local minutes a month for just $39.99 with contract.
Detroit hockey fans, score 3 ways with Murray's Wednesday night hat trick. Fox Sports Net has teamed up with Murray's Discount Auto Stores. For every Wednesday night hockey game on Fox Sports Net, you can tune in to win awesome Detroit hockey gear and a cool Murray's car care kit. Enter at participating Murray's Discount Auto Stores and also win a shot at one of 2 autographed game jerseys or the grand prize, a trip for 2 to see Detroit play in Colorado. Wednesdays are huge thanks to Murray's Wednesday night hat trick and Fox Sports Net.
At your Metro Detroit Ford dealers, you'll find there are just as many finance options as there are great new cars and trucks. We work with Ford Credit, and they give you lots of finance choices.
Like 99 clearance cash back and financing as low as 0.9%, plus $2,000 cash back on every 99 Taurus in stock.
You've got to be comfortable not only with your vehicle, but with your financing as well.
31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers, think Ford first.
Walled Lake Western driving to begin the fourth quarter, hoping to break this 7-7 standoff. Our next Red Wing telecast is a Western Conference battle. Jeremy Roenick and the Phoenix Coyotes come to the Joe. Live coverage with the Wings with Ken Daniels, Vicki Redmond, and John Keating tomorrow afternoon. It starts at 2:30 here on Fox Sports Net. Walled Lake Western buoyed by its first down in its half. Still moving the chains. 1st and 10 at the 32. Ball given off to the first man through, Cargill. Gets down to the 25. 7 more yards on the drive. Sean Crotty defensively on the stop for Utica Eisenhower after the pickup of 6. Opening minute of play of the fourth quarter. Drama continues to build with the championship in the big school game on the line. Cargill keeps those legs moving, and he earned 3 yards there. Dave Ianta on the stop for the Eagles.
Well, Walled Lake with their spread style offense, Fred, with the 4 wideouts and 5 wideouts, some empty set, sometimes it causes you to defensively do some different things. We're going to get a look right here. We see how you don't get a real good view, but look at right here and right here. They're deep, they're about 5 yards off, and they're wide, and that's what's important. We're trying to soften the middle up. But look at DeGiorgio. That young man, he reads and flows so well. Even though he's wide, you think he's out of the play, he gets back into it.
3rd and 1, Cargill picks up the first. Sean Crotty defensively for Ike, but not until they move the chains again. A 4-yard gain. So Western content to pound it on the ground inside.
This is a huge drive for Walled Lake right now. Moving the ball inside the 20, 18-yard line. Eisenhower, someone has to step up and make a play. So far, it's been the younger DeGiorgio making the 2 big interceptions. Let's see if someone else in that defense can step it up.
1st and 10. Ball given off. Tamina turns it upfield inside the 5-yard line. Finally brought down by Tynan. But a change of pace that time as Western, instead of going with a heavy hitter, Cargill, went for speed and Tamina.
Nothing fancy. Look at the guard pulling out. A good job kicking out, getting downfield. Tamina really doing a nice job, but once he got through the hole, coming back against the pursuit and cutting against the grain and getting everything he could.
A gain of 14 for Brian Tamina, the junior tailback. more of a pass receiving threat than a runner, but he got the job done there. First and goal at the 3. Cargill, touchdown Western.
Unbelievable, but all the coaches on the sideline for Wall Lake are trying to get a timeout. They're screaming, they're jumping up and down, they want a timeout, they run the play, they get a touchdown.
So Western takes its first lead of the afternoon. Cody Cargill, his 17th touchdown of the season.
It's that type of player those famous 6 words come from. No, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. You hear those coaches. That's a great job.
So Mukhtar will attempt to tack on the PAT. John DeGiorgio got the hand up there. So the door is open for the Eagles, 13-7.
There's Cargill. We're going to look at the scoring play right here. Nothing fancy, just off tackle. Some good blocking at the point of attack. And a nice lead block there by Brian Tamina.
Western successful with power football as Cargill lugged it 6 times on the scoring drive for 30 yards. The final 3 getting into the end zone. Back with the Eisenhower possession in a moment.
Fall is the season in Michigan for girls basketball, with over 700 teams vying for the opportunity to play in the MHSAA Finals December 2nd through the 4th at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. There's nothing like MHSAA tournament action. Catch it. Tickets are now on sale at the CMU Athletic Ticket Office. Call 188-FIRE-UP-2 for more information. Final sponsors are Farm Bureau Insurance and the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. And watch the finals live on...
The Floor Connection in Auburn Hills is your connection to quality flooring at affordable pricing. The Floor Connection is a certified Mohawk Color Center for commercial and residential buildings. Beautiful wood floors, ceramic tile, carpet, and laminates, all carefully installed by our experienced, trained staff. The Floor Connection goes that extra mile with financing available and special warranties. Connect at the Floor Connection, 1250 Updike Road, or call 377-0300 for your free in-home estimate.
I am the changing face of real estate. I'm an ear, and I'm a voice. I am Caldwell Banker. I'm a commitment, a promise. I am a guarantee. I am Caldwell Banker, and I will sell your home.
Call your local office and discover what real estate should be.
Walled Lake Western with a 6-point lead. You know, they called defender John DeGiorgio Superman on the Utica Eisenhower team, and this time he needed his cape.
Well, Jim O'Brien, the fullback, brings a little kryptonite with him, and even the great ones fall sometime. You see O'Brien get a little mattress block on DeGiorgio, but don't count 47 out. He's been earned enough today, and he's been earned enough this season where he's going to answer the bell.
And keep in mind now, Eisenhower with a touchdown and an extra point kick could take the lead. So we might look back at that blocked extra point as a tide turner. Good deep kick, fielded by Hoover from his own 5. Lost the football, and it's Western football. I think as they continue to struggle for it, the Warriors say they have it, and they do.
We talked about sometimes you get stripped on a fumble, and sometimes you get rocked. And this time, someone puts a helmet right on the ball. Boom! A good hit by number 22, Ethan Farkas. And a good job. Right there, boy. You get a helmet on that ball, I don't care who you are holding. It's tough to hang on sometimes. You know, Hoover right now feels as bad as anyone. But that's good special teams. And talking to the coaches before the game, one of the keys to the game, Coach Zadebski said, is they have to be special on special teams, and obviously they have been.
Turnovers now even. Josh Cavins is the Warrior who fell on the football. He's a backup defensive back. And again, that Utica Eisenhower defense on the field as the ball is given up the gut to Cargill. They have just pounded away at the Eagle defense between the tackles.
That's exactly right. They're attacking that big white monster. They found a soft spot and they bellied up a little bit. They motion it back out of the backfield, widens the linebackers a little bit. They come back up inside. And that's where they've really started to pound them. And by doing that, they've had a little more success running off tackle, too, by hitting them inside.
So a gain of 4. Second and 6 at the 17. Cargill again. More yardage. More punishment inside the 10. Chris Massano had to bring it down, but not until Mr. Cargill turned his legs for 9 yards.
Well, running plays are going to be successful, but let's watch the right guard, number 61 that time, for Wall Lake pulling Stakovic, and he gets a kickout block, allowing Cargill to make the play. Here it is, right coming at you in the house, wham, outside, inside. That's what it's all about. The running backs get the glory. But got to remember, when push comes to shove in that meeting room, the offensive lineman doesn't get their glory too, and the coaches start patting them on the back a little bit.
Eisenhower has to find an interior answer. Cargill, touchdown, Warriors! Hoover's fumble turned into 6 more points, and now Walled Lake Western with a commanding 19-7 lead.
Well, in our open, Fred, we talked about Cargill, what a weapon he was. The first half, he got off to a slow start, but obviously he's picked up the pace, and you got to credit the big fellas up in front, the offensive linemen, Tooney and Bobola and Bigger and Stokovic and Shield, because they've really opened up some holes.
Cody Cargill with his second successive touchdown here in the 4th. Following his blockers beautifully.
And a nice job by the right guard that time, number 60, really opening things up. Adam Boboa, he pulls, he kicks out. Look at that. They do a great job of waiting for their guards to get the kick out, come up underneath, and cut. We're getting another look here. Actually, it's a short side guard pulling number 60. There it is. Look at how he locates. And that's one of the hardest things to do for an offensive lineman is when you get out there, when you start turning up, all of a sudden you get a vision in your corner of your eye of another jersey to be able to turn and spin and kick that out. And he did a nice job.
What has Western done to negate the pursuit of Eisenhower? Because we saw so much Eagle speed defensively in the first half.
Well, I think what they've done, Fred, is when they're pulling their guards, they're kicking everything out instead of trying to seal anything, and instead of trying to attack the perimeter, they're getting the flow going, kicking out and cutting back underneath the flow. And what that does is that takes, the DeGiorgios, both of them, out of the play, widens your outside linebackers, and they're getting back into that soft middle.
And they keep going to it over and over and over again. The Warriors smelling a championship now. They won it 3 years ago when they beat another Macomb County team, Sterling Heights Stevenson. They'll go for 2. Peyton calls a timeout.
I think they're short a man. They came out with 10 people. And that's really unexcusable. When you run an extra point, when you already are taking enough time, you get everyone on the side, you send your extra point team in, and Coach Zadebski is not pleased right now. He's talking to Mr. Ruth here down on the sidelines, number 35, whether or not it was his fault. What happens in a situation is sometimes you get injuries and so forth, which some people are down and other people are in, and your backups have to be ready and have to pay attention.
Now watch again and you'll see.
Let's count them here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And right here, here's number 11, and he's not getting there. And he's come bearing gifts. He's going to call a timeout and save the 10 on the field because saving from maybe a poor play or Coach Zadebski's wrath, one of the two.
That's a lonely feeling.
Oh, yeah, like the Maytag repairman coming in there. It's not a good feeling, and I hate to say it, but I've been there before. And what you want then is not to let your head coach find you for about the next 15 minutes till he forgets.
So with 8:26 remaining, Walled Lake Western looking to take a 14-point lead. Five pass catchers out there for Western. A rare second half pass for the Red Shirts. Off Parker, intercepted by DiGiorgio. That is Joe's third of the day. But unfortunately, this one only negates a 2-point conversion. It is Walled Lake Western right now, pounding it down the throats of the Eagles. Can Ike answer? Our answer when we come back.
All right, everybody. If this one doesn't get your toe tapping, check your pulse. You may be dead. Here it is, coming to you in living cola. Refreshing Pepsi Cola. From the wonderful folks who put the R in cola. I'll be signing off now, because it's my bedtime. I'll catch you on the flip side. Be there.
I like this job.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans. Designed better than they need to be. Like the incredibly smooth-riding 2000 GMC Jimmy, an SUV with a full-length steel frame, its backbone. Lease a 2000 Jimmy four-wheel drive SLE for as low as $299 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
I just got a job helping Bell Tire put the finishing touches on another new store. Hey, the money's great, and well, there are other advantages.
Announcing the grand opening of another new Bell Tire location. Now get the biggest selection of tires and guaranteed low out-the-door prices no matter where you live.
Okay, so I look like one of the village people, but hey, you can't beat the scenery.
Bell Tire. Nobody comes close, and now more than ever, nobody's closer.
19-7, Walled Lake Western in the lead in the Division I championship game. Let's show you the scoring highlights. Early on first quarter, 57-yard interception return by Joe DiGiorgio.
Nice job by Joe DiGiorgio, falling off in a soft zone on the corner, grabbing the ball, showing some good wheels, turning it, and Eisenhower struck first, Fred. But it wasn't long before Walled Lake came back.
Brandon Routhier with a touchdown reception, 7-7 at the half.
Nice job finding a little soft spot in the corner of the end zone, sitting down. Ball was well delivered.
Then back-to-back crunching drives by Western. Cody Cargill with 2 touchdown runs.
And we know Cody Cargill coming into the game as a go-to man, and he's proven that right the entire afternoon. They're going to him a lot here in the third and fourth quarter, and he's paying big dividends.
TD drives of 43 and 21 yards for the Red-Clad Warriors at Walled Lake Western, smelling a title, but there's still almost 8.5 minutes work still to do.
And the difference is this is not Division 8 or Division 7 where the teams run 95% of the time. These teams have big strike capability. Whether or not they can do it is another question.
Hoover at his own 5 again. Or it's, excuse me, DiGiorgio, who brings it up around the 20-yard line, where Utica Eisenhower will go to work with the ability to pass, because this season they had an almost identical 50-50 match in their running and passing game. Averaging 136 yards on the ground and 132 through the air, which is unusual for a high school football team.
Yeah, that's very good, very well balanced. Look right here. Got a little Rudolph, a little Christmas spirit. I see the red nose going. That's going to make my girls at home happy. They see that. A little Rudolph action in the stands. Some excitement on the Walled Lake side.
1st and 10 from the shotgun. It'll be Gnipp going to work. They have to be prudent with the clock. Gnipp to throw. Pressure. Overwhelmed. He's sacked again. Brad Romaya was the first one on the penetration. 5th time that Gnipp goes down.
Well, we talked in the previous game in a situation when a team gets down late in the game that the defensive line starts to drool. Because right now, Walled Lake Western knows that Utica's almost in a sure pass situation. And they're coming. They're blitzing linebackers. And there's just too many red shirts coming, and they can't be accounted for. John DiGiorgio tried to pick up the block, but he was beaten. A good job by the red shirts. Right now, the red shirts are kind of running over the white shirts, and it's going to be a long road to hoe these next 91 yards.
2nd and 18 now after the loss of 8. Gnipp may be looking for Massano here. Goes underneath to Klein. Out to the 30-yard line, so a pickup of 12. That'll bring down a 3rd and 6 situation now for the Eagles with the clock at 7:29.
You know, you kids at home, your parents want you to work in chemistry instead of football. This is why. Wow, right under the chin and then in the back. Hey, I'm telling you, when you see something like that, Fred, it makes you glad you're up here instead of down there. That's some big-time hitting going on. And to Brian Gnipp's credit, he got right up and, you know, he's ready to go here and completed the pass. A good job by Brian.
Or go out for the swim team. 1st and 10 at the 30. Gnipp to throw again. Fade pattern, Massano, he's covered, broken up beautifully, by Dave Morandi.
Morandi quietly has had a pretty good game here this afternoon. He's been in a lot of plays, stripping a fumble on some good coverage, making some key plays. And Morandi's been everywhere on the field in the secondary. He's one of those unheralded heroes that we've been talking a lot about the defense of Eisenhower, but Walled Lake's done a pretty fine job here this afternoon.
But a roughing the passer penalty will cost Walled Lake Western 15.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, automatic first down.
Now this is Brian Gnipp. He's getting stereo here, back-to-back. 1, 2, and then wham. Brad Rumaya comes in and just drills him. And you know what? I think the last one might have been hurt him more, but that one hurt Walled Lake because that's a 15-yard penalty.
So Rumaya with 2 sacks, in effect. One that counted, the other that didn't. And it cost him 15. Gnipp on the run. Upfield, looking for Klein again. At his feet, though. And another flag. Holding this time, though, against the Eagles.
Walled Lake is exhibiting something that is so rare. Usually when you see pass rush and blitz, you see the linebacker showing good speed coming after the quarterback. When they come, it looks like all 6 guys are, are 100-yard sprinters coming in there. They're flying, all 6. And they, right now, Gnipp has to get out of the pocket because the pocket disappears. It's engulfed by the front 6.
So they'll move it back to the 26-yard line. I don't think there's any question that Eisenhower has been worn down by the physical stats in the second half.
On the offense, repeat the down.
Don't you think that the Western physical size advantage is taking hold?
No question. And the speed adds to that because with that speed, there's a lot better opportunities for big hits and repetition on the hits, and that's what Walled Lake has distributed to Eisenhower today.
DeGiorgio on the pass pattern as Gnipp throws, but again, pressure from Romaya. The 6', 200-pound senior making plays down the stretch.
Well, when there's interception occurs, those defensive back, everyone high-fives him. Well, you watch Romaya come from the left of your screen here on Gnipp. He beats his blocker again, and this is 3 times in a row that he's hit Gnipp. And Romaya's had a tremendous game, and he's one of the many people up front that we haven't mentioned a lot for Walled Lake who've done a fine job defensively.
So 2nd and 29, but Romaya, a 3rd-year starter, putting intense pressure on Gnipp. Steps up, way overthrown. Nobody was open. Give that Western secondary a tip of the hat. And you got to wonder right now if Gnipp is a little gun-shot.
You get a little bit shell-shocked. You get hit enough times, I'd be shell-shocked too. And Brian Gnipp, look at there, they're bringing 2 through the A-gap. A nice job by DeGiorgio picking it up. But he just says, hey, I've been hit 3 times in a row. I'm throwing it. I'm not going to get stuck again. I'm not hanging on this ball for 1/2 a second more than I have to. And it's tough to blame the young man. He's taking quite a pounding here in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 29 for the Eagles. They must get to the Western 45. Gnipp to throw. Had a man who had a step, but he overthrew him. Pass intended for Mark Lacombe. Gnipp had his bell rung again. Dave Morandi on the pop, and listen to it. He was sandwiched there by Morandi and Rob Pisha.
Well, they made an Oreo out of him, and he sure wasn't a cookie part either. I'll tell you that. He got just mushed. And that's a tough series with Brian Gnipp. Right now on the sideline, he's thinking the coach, maybe you got a backup quarterback right about now because I'm just absolutely getting beat on.
Ball goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. 6.5 to play in the Division I championship matchup.
I think the point you made last series, Fred, about Walled Lake wearing down Eisenhower, when you said, I kind of thought, yeah, maybe a little bit. But after this last series, it's really evident now that you're right in the fact that defensive line, they're getting pressure every time they're blitzing. And they're just really going for the throat here because they know they got like a wounded animal back there in Gnip, and they're bringing more and more and more pressure. They're not giving them any room to breathe at all, and that's a good way to do it. And they're giving them not even an inch to take because they don't want to let them get back into the game. And a great job by the Walled Lake defense.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. They'll keep it on the ground. Cody Cargill. But you have to wonder if maybe the road that Eisenhower traveled, they had to play against 4 power football teams, and maybe that's taken its toll too prior to this game.
Great point. Talking to Larry Sellers from the previous game, a couple years ago when they lost, last year when they lost here, he said beating Muskegon Catholic in the semifinals took so much out of him. It could be likewise for Eisenhower on their road to the finals.
You see Ike beating King. First off, they had knocked off Troy and Sterling Heights-Stevenson, 2 muscle teams, and then King a little bit bigger. Clarkson was mammoth up front. And they just may have been worn down here. Again, you're talking 16 and 17 and 18-year-old kids.
And especially the extended format of the new high school playoffs where you play that extra game, that's one more game for your kids to be getting a pounding after 9 games. Now, granted, it works out well for the state because each week there's fewer and fewer teams that have to go through this. But if a team like Eisenhower of this AA division, when you're taking that pounding week after week, the last thing you need is one more week of it. And I think it's showing here, especially in the second half.
This looks like a football team right now, knowing that its spirit has been broken, I think. Inside 5.5 minutes to play. Ball given off near side. Tamina, good hard tackle, though. John Crotty keeping the work ethic intact.
We haven't called Crotty's name a lot this afternoon. The 2 outside linebackers, Joe and John DeGiorgio, have been getting a lot of the press here this afternoon, but Crotty's been pretty steady inside. It wasn't until the 4th quarter, really, where Walled Lake was able to attack the middle. And I'm not saying that's Crotty, too. He's got 2 down defensive tackles in front of him who have to help protect him. But it just all comes down to, you look at the numbers of red shirts standing on the sidelines. I mean, they have about, 70 kids here this afternoon, and a tremendous tremendous turnout for their program, and it's paying dividends.
Western has over 100 kids on its football team. And the fact that they don't really use a 2-way system, it invites more players to play.
Okay. Savage, go out there and talk to him. Hey. What? Yeah.
When's the last time out? We have no more time out.
I know. They got to go for the block. They got to go for the block, Coach. They got to go for the block.
So Coach Z, obviously, knowing that Eisenhower has to come up with some big play. They need to either get a big return or this block here. Otherwise, their afternoon is about to be done.
Coach, I think Coach Z is correct in his assumption that they're going to come at it here. They've been close a few times this afternoon. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was John DeGiorgio or Joe earlier laid out, just about got it. And they also roughed him one time. So right now, you're going to chance that you're going to rough the punter. You don't care, but you have to try to get someone on that ball.
4:42 to play in the 4th. Western leading by 2 possessions. Lozano, a possible game breaker, to retrieve the punt for Eisenhower. But he'll let it bounce. I think a Western player touched it. So Brian Gnip comes back on the field, but he's got to be in some pain right now. He's going to feel some wealth tomorrow.
Right. I don't know about most people, but I can count to 4. And we're going to watch Brian Gnip right here. There's 1. That's 1 hit on the series. 2, he gets sandwiched. 3. And the earlier, and here we go, another one. Oh, and that one hurt up here. I could feel my feelings rattle a little bit on that last one.
Boy, James King really unloaded. That's a 4.0 student saying, maybe I'll think about my master's degree as opposed to quarterback. Gnip to throw. Oh, he's crushed again. Ohio is there. It's open field right now on Eagle quarterbacks, and it's Ryan Gnip. Joe Safarian also got in there.
And you got to feel for Brian Gniff right now. The last series, they brought 6 people every time. Oh, let's take a look right here. They have linebacker, they walk him up. They bring 4, they drop 7 into coverage. Now he's got nowhere to throw. He has a little bit more time. So what he's doing, he has to tuck it and still run. He still gets hit. There's no escaping him for Brian Gniff right now.
So he's been sacked 6 times. Gniff going up top. Masano. Oh, if they'd have had it, he could have had 6. He had beaten Parker to the outside, and as he was getting to turn it upfield, he lost the handle.
Well, when he's coming to line of scrimmage, I'm pointing, Freddie, because Masano had such a tight split. He's only about 4 or 5 yards off outside tackle. What you do, you bring your split down, so it gives you a lot of sidelines to work. You press your guy inside, and you go to the corner. Pretty good coverage by Parker, but the ball was well thrown for Gniff. And young man's got some heart, Brian Gniff, for standing in the pocket, the beating he's taken, and still delivering the ball well, and has not lost his play sheet the entire game. He still has all the plays listed on the sheet. It's a little more wrinkled right now.
Absolutely. It needs pressed. 3:41 left in a 3rd and 13 call. Gniff again. Looking deep for Klein. Picked off. Lorenzo Parker. His 5th interception of the season. And Wall Lake Western is ready to wrap up the state championship.
Well, by the better voice, I'd start singing "Turn Out the Lights" like Dandy Don Meredith used to, but that's a nice play by Parker. The ball actually was pretty well thrown by Gniff again, but you're not surprising anyone in the secondary at this stage in the game. We're going to look right here, and Gniff just does a straight drop back, low play action fake. He's trying to get it right down here. It's number 25, Brent Klein. Parker just falls off in his deep 3rd on the outside, and I mean, you have 3 red shirts around the ball. Look at Parker does a good job falling off Lacombe to get the interception. He wasn't even the man who was covering Klein. He just fell off from his man when he saw the ball going deep.
So Lorenzo will go to the SEC to play college football next year at Vanderbilt, and he'll go as a state football champion. Ball given off to Cody Cargill, but right now the Warriors just want to burn some clock. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. Eisenhower hung in for a half. And then Wall Lake Western just wound up grinding this thing out. You notice we haven't called the DiGiorgio names much at all in the second half.
Obviously, some adjustments made at halftime by the Wall Lake staff. You know, kudos to them for making what needed to be done in order to be more successful offensively.
Ball given off to Cargill again. Punishing pickup of another 4 yards.
It's kind of strange, and Cargill kind of looks like a little bit of a scat back when the game started. Now, when the defense starts tiring a little bit, it looks more like a power back running inside, starting to push the pile, running people over. That's just a confidence thing, and that's a wearing down type of issue where the defense has been on the field, and, you know, time of possession. It seems like they've been on the field the whole game, and the red shirts, Wall Lake, has had the ball, and that's tough. You just can't do it. You can't maintain defensively. You're going to wear down.
3rd and 5 for the Warriors. Fake to Cargill. Peyton keeps it. Has some blocking. Turns it inside. Gets down near the 10-yard line. 1st down, Wall Lake Western. Ianta and DiGiorgio making the stop for the Eagles.
Well, when you're going to run, this is called a load option. And let's watch. Coming outside, a nice job. Excellent job. Chris Payton following the wall of blockers. And that's all it is. Nothing fancy. Quarterback grabs the ball. He gets behind all those big linemen, the backs. Everyone's having a party around the right side of the corner. And he's just following. He's joining the party. And he picks up the 1st down. And that might be the final nail in the coffin.
So it keeps the clock moving. And resets the change. 1st and 10 at the 12. Cargill. Stacked up at the 8. Gain of 3. You know, Cargill is compactly built at 210, but we mentioned earlier he's the school champion for weightlifting for a football player. In effect, the strongest man in Wall Lake Western school history. Also runs track as a hurdler. And you hit it exactly right. He's become a fullback in the second half.
He looks so much physically stronger than the opponents right now, and I think maybe it's his style of running that takes its toll. Not only the blocking, not only all the tackling they've had to do, but also the type of pounding. And look at the time of possession. How Wall Lake has really dominated this game, and you're seeing that on the scoreboard.
Cargill broke a tackle. Gets down near the 5-yard line. Under a minute to play.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of the respect right now that Utica Eisenhower has. Not using their timeouts, the clock's running. And right now Coach Lancey knows that he's been beaten by a better team this afternoon. And I think he's just going to, take his lumps here and let the clock run down and end it.
Cargill with 80 yards rushing. So moving up front on the western side. So that'll move him back 5.
Good job, guys.
Mike Sadepski.
Okay.
1 for 1 in coaching in the state championship game. Kind of hard to top that if you're a high school football coach.
Oh, it's also hard to top you. All the time I've been coaching football, we haven't lost yet. In the history of Coach Sadepski's head coaching career, he doesn't have any losses.
The Warriors won it in 96.
Encroachment on the defense. Repeat the down.
Chuck Apac led the Warriors to the title against Sterling Heights Stevenson, and that man was a defensive coordinator. Final 22 seconds to be played. And they'll down it. Sadepski has a championship ring in his office from 96. He doesn't wear it. He's superstitious. He keeps it on the shelf during the football season. Guess what? He's got another ring to wear.
Way to go! Way to go, boys!
Wall Lake Western has done it for a second time in the 90s. Blondes do have more fun, I guess.
State champ, number 1, baby, number 1! Yeah!
Cody Cargill, the ground hero in the second half, and the Warriors just had a little bit too much size and strength against what became a physically outmanned Utica Eisenhower bunch. They hung in for a half, but couldn't quite come up with enough offense to do the job against the number 1 and unbeaten Wall Lake Western Warriors. Back to wrap it up with a trophy presentation and clean up some tears when we come back.
What's in the blue box?
Lending for this old house and that new office.
Checking and savings for all things great and small.
Financial services for today and tomorrow.
Electronic banking to open new doors.
A universe of personal and business banking services that all begins at the same place.
Hello, Mr. Walker.
What's in the blue box? Whatever you need.
What do you have, folks? A large pepperoni pizza.
And a Pepsi, please.
Sure thing, Curly.
Thank you.
We both know I ordered a Pepsi Cola, and now you've insulted me by offering me this. But I'd like to give you a chance to make amends. Capiche?
Yeah. Here you go.
Good eye.
This is the new Trans Am, and it's very hungry. The muscle car lives. The new Firebird Trans Am by Pontiac.
Watch The Locker Room Monday nights at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
The Cleveland Lumberjacks invade the Palace Friday, December 17th, 7:30 p.m. to take on the Detroit Vipers on used car night with special guest Patrick Warburton Putty from the hit show Seinfeld. You could win one of 6 cars courtesy of Taylor Chevrolet. It's also a Vipers family night. Get 4 tickets, 2 t-shirts, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a tub of popcorn for only $45. Tickets on sale now at the Palace box office or call 248-377-0100. Vipers hockey, get bit.
They'll be dancing all the way back to Walled Lake as the Western Warriors, 2-time champions, 19-7 victors over Utica Eisenhower.
I love rings. Oh, love them rings. Love them rings. Love the place.
Coach Z thinking about maybe opening a jewelry store.
He's soliciting business. I'm not sure the MHSAA allows that, but just a treat and something they probably talked about ahead of time, a little memento.
Coming up, more champions to be crowned. Later at 5 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be the Division 5 title matchup. Detroit Country Day against Muskegon Orchard View. And then the weekend finale, Farmington Hills Harrison. You talk about jewelry. John Harrington knows about that. He's working on his toes. He'll go for another against Grand Rapids Creston at 8 o'clock, Division 3 title tilt. Right now, while Walled Lake Western celebrates this championship, the Eagles of Eisenhower say, not bad. Their first ever trip to the finals. They got a lot of guys coming back, including John DiGiorgio, who will be their starting running back next year. This is a team with a lot of underclassmen coming back, and they can be proud. They will build upon this experience.
Well, they'll build upon it. What a foundation they have, as you just said, with the brothers coming back and the effort they put forth here today.
Good job, Bob Lancey. Boy, getting his team here. They lost 2 games in the middle of the season. Knew they were in some trouble. Had guys banged up. Won 3 road playoff games. Then beat Clarkston and Port Huron. They met just a better ball club. The 15th ranked team in the USA Today national poll, the Walled Lake Western Warriors.
And now, Mr. Ratchet will present.
And now Coach Z will get his trophy to take back to a very small and cramped office, but I'm sure he'll find some room.
Well, his biggest concern now is how long that blonde hair takes before it grows back out. He could go like me and just do the shave look. He wouldn't have to worry.
From Garden City High to Walled Lake Western, and a head coach winning a championship. Hats off to the Warriors. Our next game, Division 5, as Muskegon Orchard View takes on Detroit Country Day, a team that's been there, done that. They'll try it again. Coverage begins at 5 o'clock. Now for our Fox Sports Net crew, I'm Fred McLeod saying so long. And again, much thanks to number 84, Rob Rubik, who taught all of us a lot about football and, yes, the bubble screen. Thank you, Robert. Once again, our final score, Walled Lake Western 19, Utica Eisenhower 7. You've been watching high school football on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive television home of MHSAA football and basketball championship. We'll see you back at 5. Now stay tuned for Under the Helmet coming up next. Good night from Pontiac.
Fox Sports News Primetime, your Sunday night source for all the day's NFL action.
But wait, there's more.
From the playmakers,
He's off to the races. Touchdown!
To the game breakers and newsmakers. Want the latest? You got it.
Woo!
Catch Keith, Kevin, NFL coaching great Marv Levy, and our all-pro team of analysts.
Wow.
We cover the NFL.
You bet.
Fox Sports News Primetime, Sunday night, every night.